No music, no ambiance, no background. Maybe we're going to put on a background. Let's see if we can find a background here. Flip camera settings. What would settings give me? Ranking here, your voice, the comment settings on. Okay. Hear your voice. Okay. Flip camera, mirror camera. Okay. Let me see. I'm just setting up here. We need to get a little bit of music out here. We need to learn. What are we here for? What are we here for? What's this channel for? Hello, Roland. How you doing? I'm not really set up yet. If you want to talk, what I talk about is numbers. I do a science of numbers. I'm still in the learning stage, into my learning stage of the 20th year of my learning stage. And I have what you might say stories that have come out of it, because if I wasn't learning, this is what came out of my learning. I don't like to say that I'm an artist. I'm more or less a recreator from what is already in existence. I study formation. If you take a look at these numbers over here, right? If you saw this on an ATM, there would be letters with it. If you saw it on your telephone, there would be letters with it. Now, if we went over and just give me 1 second to look this up. Don't hesitate to ask me any questions. Any questions about numbers? If you've seen numbers before, something with any number, doesn't matter, any combinations of numbers, let's keep it small. What I do is I have equations that I use based on my understanding of numbers, how I either increase the number, decrease the number. I find a way with reason on how to make all the numbers perfect. In my world I live is a utopia world, in the program that I share with you for my understanding of the programmation that we have been instilled, that we were born into, even to understand why did they say day 6? Does it mean anything else? Is it only because the Sabbath cometh and we pass the 25 hours of the Sabbath? Why the 25 hours? Why do we need to reach to what is 1500, the same numeric value for Saturn squared, the same numeric value for all the Roman numerals, the same numeric value that encapsulates what the sun system is all about? I have spoken nothing that didn't make any sense. I just didn't explain to you from where I got all these numbers. But when I tell you, you'll know they already exist. What do they all mean? I'm here to expose, to share, to be transparent about items that have been created that will repeat themselves, not only in the games, but in books and Bibles, in language, in the way language works, into the characters of the dots and the dashes, the connected of area space, of how letters were created and what they were created to explain in the story of the alphabet, to where everybody says, look at the machine in China, look at those characters, or in Thailand, the way they write. But yet, when we look at the American alphabet, we just think it's ABC. That's all, most of what I understand, see, it's just ABC. But we also know those who study particles and pieces and parts of language, that in Scrabble, they only said you can't use 1 or 2 letters. And then if you add on a word ending in ing, er, beginning in re, or adding the x to the x job or x this, noting that, what does it mean, the 2 letters x? What is the full word that goes along with these letters? So in my system that I use, I can put it towards just about any word, but I'm trying to learn about this planet and our coming here, having a personal engagement with the Creator, having understanding how is it that those astrologists and those who read the tarot cards, how they can actually say, wow, and they're all saying it, wow, look at this. I got King of Swords and Jack of Rapper, and I got all these different cards and why they're saying what they say and why I picked it and what it means to you. So you already believe. How can you understand these people? How do they connect these cards to you? Have you ever thought how they connect these cards to you? Right? It's the same way your heart beats. It's through vibration, through a frequency that you had at the moment that you spoke to this person, that they read your message or heard your voice. The frequency, how does it come? Does it come only through how I speak, how you hear me, through the digital system? That once we move everything into digital from analog, you will never hear my original voice come across. The dots and the dashes, are they the same as me saying, "Hi everybody, how are you?" Exclamation point, question mark. Welcome to today. Now, I didn't see the word come across, but when it came across to me and I heard today, I saw the letters TWO. Most people spell it TODAY. When it comes to tomorrow, I'm saying TWO, more O's. What about more O's? More worlds? More worlds to come. You go to sleep at night, you woke up on the wrong side of the bed. One of the expressions that there must be another side of this world when you woke up. Is there an angry part to this world? Does that mean, can you be in between? And how are you in between? How do the frequencies work? How do the chakras work? Why did each chakra get its own name? Like Racine, the Racine chakra, right? The French and the English, when we understand between French and English for myself, I start to understand the balance of numbers, whether they're coming from the dot, whether they're coming from the void, whether they're coming from 6, 6, or 6, whether it's this 6 over here to the 333 void, whether it's this 6 over here, horizontal, the flat line, sleeping at night on 180 degrees, or are you awake? Are you awake or are you asleep? It seems like on this, when you are asleep, the line goes up and down. That's pretty weird because when you are awake, the line goes this way. This will create the I letter. The reason for that, 6 and 1, 7, creates the I letter. Over here. It'll also create the Z because I can go straight across, caught to the center, come over here and turn to the right. The Z in this situation, when you're working with the calculator, calculating, it's going to tell you 7, 8, 9. See 7, 8, 9. You're going to cut through the 5 position over here, but you're going to cut through the back side. That ignites the front side, the front light. Or is it 6 coming into 1? Coming into 1, all 6 coming into 1. Note that there's the ring that goes around this entry point, 5, and an entry point. They call it tzvilin in the Hebrews. They put it on here on their arm, the tzvilin in Hebrews, yet they put it on. They say there's a prayer inside, but did they really know what they're putting on? This little black box with a covenant that's on the inside? Has anybody looked at the Kabbah, which has got a blank face? Look, my phone has a blank face, right? But we have to say, open up and show me that blank space. And that's what we get, right? We also get this in the blank space. Check this out. My reflection. You fill in the blank space. With this item here, these dots fill in the blank space, or 4 squares. Do we work by the dots into the corners, or do we work by the squares? And if you notice with your phone, they're always giving you the EC, the emergency call, the 11 craps, electric company, 7587, electric company, 7 and 5, 12, 1 and 2 is 3, 78, 15, 1 and 5 is 6, 3, 6, because your creation comes from when you get 1 between 2 equaling to 3. Our base creation from the beginning does not include 1 and 2. 1 and 2 is going to be replaced with 7 and 8. According to this cube, right, every single side on this cube is a 9 face. Yes, you can look at the entire cube, right, as the 16 base or the 9 base, a 3x3 or a 4x4 area space taken up. When you have the 4x4 area space, this will be the Mars house chunk coming out of here. Somebody invited me to host. We're going to keep that off for now. How you doing? How you doing, Cassandra, Normand? Join. But I know for some reason when it says people join and they're gone, they're really flicking through it, right? Which is not fun for me to see down here. If they don't stay for 2 seconds, the name shouldn't even show up and to give the false impression. So when we talking about the Earth, right, it's this area over here with the 5 to the center. That's for the Earth. When it comes to Mars, if I should use this entire board over here, we're going to use these 4, okay, for the Mars. Let's call this the borderline, okay? The extra wing, we have 1, then we have 3 and 1. They have 1, 3, and 5. 1, 3, and 5 is the same expression over here. 1, 3, and 5. Let me show you on something smaller. Hold on a second. 1, 3, and 5. They're the only 3 with the head. They're the only 3 with the head. If I went to 1, 3, and 5, it would be saying A, 1, C, 3, E, 5. A, C, E. Ace. So now if you look at the deck of cards, you see the A, you're going to note right away, that's the ace. If you see the jack, the J letter, will you call it jack if it doesn't say jack? Why did they only put the J? Why did they only have to note the 10th letter in the alphabet as the 11th card? But it falls to its own realm, okay? It falls to its own realm, okay, as the 10th card when you play Casino War. In Casino War, the 2 is the first card. It is the lowest card in the game. The ace becomes the biggest card in the game. So we're only one person here. Let me see who it is. Lo and behold, how you doing, Rob? What are your interests, Rob? Do you have anything? Do you know anything? And are you searching out anything that's, why is this a real world? Is there a God? What are we living in now? Why do times change? Is the zodiac real? Are tarot cards real? Why do I have a birth line or a birth date? Why were we born in 200 or 280 days, 40 weeks? What do these circles actually say? Have you ever played or picked up a deck of cards and looked at the clubs? Right? You ever look at a club? And well, in the club, in this, you can see that there's 1 footing on the club in your deck of cards, but because there's 3 circles, you can add 2 more footings to it. So you can connect 3 more, 3 more, 3 more, plus the passage diamond amongst them all, going on to the next territory. Each territory works this way if you can figure it out, that within its own reality, it's never more than 101 away from the other one. And the 2 triangles is to show that it is in between the homes, and then it is the connecting of the homes. And then you have 1, 2, 3 half diamonds, 3, 6, 9. 3, 6, 9, connected to 3, connected to 3, divided by 3. And even when you connect these 2 houses, their happy comedian is right over here in this house. I connect these 2 houses, the happy comedian is here. So if I have 1 moon here, okay, I've got the alternate moons here. Earth moves with 3 moons. It is your 9 birth, and it is the 3 moons within each house. Here is just a little diagram of the club, the clubhouse. I'm going to get a cup of water in the kitchen for those who are just joining me. Maybe I can put on a proper background. Let me see if I can put on one of my pictures. Let me see the enhance, music, effects, background. Let me see for background. I don't want to put on a fake background. I want to put on a real background. So it says impact, share, enhance. Just let me look through this. effects, sound effects, background, effects, stickers. What's effects? Let me see. No, I don't like that. Green face, tools, background. Let me see here. Why won't it let me? Oh, I like this background maybe. Yeah, that should basically be what it's all about. Except I don't work with those numbers, right? Just give me a minute before we begin. I was here, there was nobody here, so I just stopped talking. I'm not sure what your interests are, but if you're interested in anything to do with what they call the creator God, if you're interested to understand a little bit about a blank face, blank faces like on cubes or on blocks. Yeah, so how you doing? I'm going to get something in the kitchen. Let me see if I can put one of these pieces down that I did, show you a little bit about what I do. You see, just give me a, oh yes, this over here. Let me see if this come up. Yeah, so let me show you this over here. Wow, it doesn't want to come up in the background. I don't know why. Yeah, it's not coming up in the background. So yeah, how you doing? How you doing, sand writing? So what do you do? Do you write? Do you call yourself sand writing because you're a writer? Yeah, we got to know. We need some participation. 888. Is there a reason why you chose 888 sand writing? I can tell you a little bit about what you wrote. I can't tell you why you wrote it. I can tell you a little bit about what it means, right? That's what I do. I work on understanding words. I redesign them. I can design any single word. It doesn't really matter. They're just letters. They're just characters. They're just a connection of dots and dashes. Okay. I never have a placed program when to speak, but I'm here to talk about numbers, and I would really love some participation. So if you want to join, just ask to join, to talk live with me, or just write it out here. I don't want to be the complete voice for another 2 hours today, right? I'm going to show you some of the equipment I work with in order to understand the zodiac, in order to understand the constellations, in order to understand every word in the dictionary. I make everything really, really, really simple. Really simple. This is for a child, okay? But the reason we have to do it as adults, because we have to be that children that we are as adults, forgetting certain things that we have learned, but understand the equation of the codification of a word. Here's a calculator. Okay, so if you like numerology, I'm so happy that you said something, okay? Now I'm going to tell you how I'm not going to tell you how I got into this. It makes no difference. What it is what I have discovered. And let me tell you one thing. I believe that once I'm finished here with just a few little things, how the numbers are so perfect. It is utopia. Winner, winner, winner all the time. Did you see that flash in the background of those 3 aliens coming off to the right? If I can just get that in here and show you that picture and show you how it was designed. Okay, I don't use this big math. Okay, let me see if I can get into that picture. Comment, support, flip camera, mirror, no, so it's not there. It's in enhance. I want to do enhance. Let me see if I can get a straight background. Right, I don't want these backgrounds that they're showing me. So let me see what else I can do. There's got to be something. I don't want, oh, wait. Okay, they're letting me pick up one of my designs. So let me see if I can, yes, here it is. I need to do this, and I need to take away this. I need to make this blank. It's got to be just that. Okay, it's got to be only that picture. How can I only get that picture? Background. Okay, it's for some reason, it's not working. It won't let me. Just give me a second on background. Okay, well, anyways, I'm going to just show you that. See that over here? Those are all numbers. All that you see on the floor, those are all numbers. Okay, that comes off of a game in which the game looks like there's an illusion in the game, because some of the numbers on the board of roulette, right, on the roulette board, when you go around the board, it's red, black, red, black, red, black, red, black. Now, I'm not talking about gambling. This has nothing to do with gambling. This is to do the setup of a roulette board, right? So it goes red, black, but yet there is a 0 and there is a double 0. When you go to 37 numbers, something happens. And when you go to 38 numbers, something happens. I'm going to just show you a little teeny speck of what happens. I hope I have it in this book. I have 10,000 videos, okay, telling different stories. Okay, it's not in this book. And it's very, very simple to do what I'm going to show you. I just hope I just want to find it. Okay, I'm going to draw it up right here and show you. I like to call it a game of ribs, or how about a left wing and a right wing? It's very, very simple. We have to understand, right, coordinate space, how space works. Remember, when we came into this world, the world was here. The moon was here. We don't see all the moons, but we're not a flat surface, right? We're 3D. There's 3 opposite sides to this cube. So we're flat, we're pointed, we're round. The surface we live on, the skies, the oceans below. Why I say that is because I'm going to show you this little image over here. We work in parts of 12. If you begin with the shoelace, you end with the shoelace. The shoelace looks the same on both ends. We work in our number system according to this calculator. 3 one way, and then in numbers, the 4 goes down to this bottom row over here. And in this bottom row over here, it'll say 1, 2, 3 again. It goes 9, 10, 11, 12, which is 1, 2, 3. When you work in 12s, it shows you here. Between 3 is one happy medium that is shared. Between 12, you must share these 2 roads, where this row, and this row goes over here, where this row, and this row goes over here. You must overlap in order to connect. This row is weaving out to this side, weaving out to this side, almost looking like what can be now a zodiac sign. And let's call this Aries, starting from the heart over here, going out here, going out here. Stories that go on in numbers. So now I'm going to get to something that's pretty simple, right? I don't want to scare anybody away. I've been doing this for 20 years. I didn't start this way. I'm a truck driver, worked on a farm, right? Worked with the animals, shoveled all the poop all the time, sat into the poop too. So we're going to see how these dice are perfect. Here's a 6 and 1. Here's a 6 and 1. The opposite of the 6 and 1 is 6 and 1. Is that good? The total of the opposite side of this dice, and I'm not sure if I want to go there yet. Hold on a second. So that's 6 and 1. So now let's see. We have 3 and 4. We're going to go ahead. We have 3 and 4, and we have 6 and 1. Crisscrossing, 3 and 4, 6 and 1. So what do you think is going to be missing, right? Well, if we look at both ends, we're going to have 5 and 2, because that's how the dice are set up, right? It could have worked out a little different, right? You might have also seen this. You might have also seen 4 and 3, 2 and 2, 4 and 3, 5 and 5, and then when you turn it to the ends, 1 and 1, because the 6 and 6 are in the inside. So this is the absolute truth of this dice. Now the thing is, the dice doesn't go up to 7, 8, or 9, so what do? We look at the design. And the crisscrossing design at what below is 4 and 3, 6 and 1, 5 and 2, 7, 7, 7. But the upper side of the same replica of the design, should I turn it upside down, it would be 9 and 4, 13. 7 and 6, 13. 8 and 5, 13. So what is below 7 is above 13. 7 by 13 is 91. When I add up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way to 13, it equals to 91. The average of 13 is 7. When I add it up to 7, hold on a second, just let me write that down, something I just thought of. I've been teaching myself and learning for 20 years. So just give me 9. In order for those who study the zodiac or the astrological signs or understanding the constellations or the planets, for anybody to understand that, they automatically need to do numerology. It's too much to remember, okay? Sagittarius, oh my God, Capricorn, how do I connect them all? So I just go like this. I say 1 Aries, I say 5 Leo, I say 9 Sagittarius. Jump by 4, jump by 4, jump by 4. And I look at this calculator and I go from 1 to 5 to 9. I must be doing something right. The dividing of your time in Leo, jumping over to Sagittarius. But remember, this is only one calculator, one face. I'm facing 6. But not only you're facing 6, but there's an inside to this over here. There's an inside. There are 26 exterior pieces, 12 6 around what is 8 to the corners, or 18 around 1. High, spinning 3 ways like the NASA sign. The hexagon is all you need to create the octagon. The 6 to create the 8. The 6 being the cat, the 8 being the dog being the soul, the cat being the spirit. Hexagon, 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 hexagon East-west hexagons, north-south hexagons. Each one has 6 sides. There's 4 for the 24-hour day for the division of the day and night. You take these 4 and you create this. If I put 4 together like this is what happens. It's like this or like this. When you come into life, you cover the heart. You stand tall, bringing in the moons, one above, and squeezing in the 2 moons at the hips, the ships, the delivery of FedEx. I don't mean the company, but it's the crisscrossing coming together of the 2 sides of 4, 5, and 6. 4, 5, and 6. 4, 5, and 6. Saturn square is all about 15s. 15, or 1 and 5, is 5, 5, and 5 equals to 15. And that's when you add. Or let's use the multiply. So powerful is the information that I feel that I know that I'm just sharing with you. I don't want to take this. So we did the number 13. We have 13 cards, okay, per suit in the deck. When we add up 1 to 13, it equals to 91. The word spirit equals to 91. What lives inside or outside of 91? Which way do you want to go? On the outside of 1 is 2. On the inside of 9 is 8. We now put 2 and 8 together. We are born into the 9 birth of the 10-month star system. The 1 and 9, 10. 1 plus 4 plus 4. The 3 and 7, 10. Where you come into Gemini. You cross into Leo again. And you jump out at Libra. 15. Count the E world in there. Between Aries and Leo and Sagittarius. Now, if I take it up 1 more row and I go from 6 to 8 to 10 over here, 6 to 8 to 10, I jump into Capricorn from Virgo through through Scorpio into the 10th area Capricorn, and then 11 and 12. And when I go to 12 over here, look, I jump 4. I jump from Cancer, right, to Scorpio. And then into 12, I'm now into Pisces. I'm jumping 2s, I'm jumping 4s. And I'm jumping my zodiac signs. What's happening between these signs now? And then there's the in-between understanding of the passing between the signs. Because when I jump from 1 to 5 by 4, I pass through the undermine of 3. I jump through Gemini when jumping from Aries over to Leo. I jump through Gemini when going from Taurus over to Cancer. What's happening? At the same time, I have a connecting moon with 3 and 4. Within the separation of what is the 3rd planet Earth to what is the 4th planet Mars to what is Gemini and Taurus, I also go 3 times 4, 12. I jump into Pisces. 3 plus 4, 7. I jump into Balance, Libra. 7 and 12 is 19. I now connect A and I. I now connect what is Sagittarius. I now connect it to Bélier, and I now connect the moon, the birth, into the moon. I now join together one of the 10 systems. Star system 10, born under the house of Bate. Bate is 2. Okay, Alpha Bate, 911. My beginning house and my 9 birth gives me 1 and 8, 1881. 9. 2 and 7, 27, 72, 99, 9 and 9, the 7th gate in the house of Bate, under the rule of Mars. Here is where Mars, here is, where did we, yes, so then we have 4 and 5, part of the Fox Passage Sun system, born into the mirror house, into the E world 9, where we reside in creation of man coming on day 6, of the 28 days of the moon. 6 by 28 equals to 168. There's 168 hours in a week. Therefore, the day of rest, because it was already lived. And now we extend on to day 7, where we take all the days of creation, 4, 4, 4, and 4 for the day, and we put it into day 7, and now we have the 7 days a week of the one connected spirit moon to the birth child of who we are, 7, coming into 10 months of creation. 10 and 7 is 17, times 3 is 51, born between the vibration of 432, or 3 days times 1440 minutes equals to 432, where the numeric value of what 5 and 1 might be a puck, but it's also Mars, Area 51, 25 for the Earth planet we have come to. Area 51 and Mars equals to the spirit of 76, which ignites what is Mars, 5 and 1, 6, to what is Earth, to the lunar moon, 5 and 2, 7. We come here for the touchdown of the extra point. They now brought in what our creation was the field goal, but now we bring the mother moons back in of Mars. The transition between Mars and Earth, the lunar moon and the moons of Mars, we come in under our creation, base 3, life 6, 9. Our mere creation comes into 4. We are 3, 4, and 6 base creation under the Federation, 4, 5, and 6. And to create 4, 5, and 6, the letter M, the V in the center, the valley filled up with water, connecting one world with the other world. The M is actually 2 sevens, could be lying sideways. Here is a 7. Here is a 7. We have the letter M. I didn't do it with the point, right? If I want to do it with the point, whoop. Anyways, I don't really like what I did. I have to erase it. It didn't come out properly. But you understand, so when we do bring the M into this, right, we end up with this, 1,000. M is a Roman numeral. It's 1,000. You want to look at the letter R? We're going to look at the letter R, okay? The letter R is right over here. See 70, right? Let me see if I can turn that camera around. Why is it looking at it this way, my camera? Why is everything upside down? Oh, yeah. So you see the 7 over here? You see the 7 over here? Well, I turn it this way. It looked like 70, right? But 70 looks like the letter R. You can also make it, you can make it using a D or an R. Different ways of connecting. There's different ways of connecting our letters. Always keep it square before we round them out. When we learn to draw, okay, we learned to do everything square. We learned about coordinate space, but it seemed like at a time we became so easy with that, we no longer need the understanding of that area space anymore because we know how to draw it. It now becomes round and everything is lost, right? Everything is lost. The corners are gone. Let me go to the kitchen and see if I can grind up a little coffee. I'm going to come back. But how powerful are the numbers? 888 is not just because it's 888. There are places where it's located. If you want to talk about 888, you find any astrologer out there that knows about the 8. Anybody in the world that can tell you a story about 8. I want to know it because it's by all those stories I get a better understanding where I'm going to find it in the geometrics of the building of the house we breathe. We're all breathing the same, okay? We're all breathing more or less this, what is in front of us. We're all breathing it. In fact, 4 years ago, they made everybody stop breathing on each other. 8 billion people were asked to put the face covering over their face, not to breathe on somebody else. So therefore, 8 billion people can probably agree with me. Yes, I can't breathe or I'm breathing and I have to protect the breathing. So we have to understand the breath. We have to understand that it can be spit into the air. And if everything in the air just fell down with gravity, it wouldn't be able to go 6 feet. So they separated you by 2 meters, 6 feet. 72 inches. 6 by 12. 6 rulers. But yet, if each side of a cube was 6, I'd have 2 cubes in every 12-inch ruler. I need 3 times 12-inch rulers. And if I had 2 of these in every ruler, and I need 3 of them, I need 6 of these. Why? Because I need to make a yard. I need to make a yard. I need to make a yard. In fact, I need to make at least 2.5 yards. Because at 2.5 yards, which is an Earth number, 25 years to life, the imprisonment on this planet, where everything with 5 and 2, you know what's magical? Why it's one of the things about 25 years to life? 2, 4, 6, 8, and 5. 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. So there's 5 odd numbers. There's 4 even numbers. All the odd numbers times 3, except for the 5, it's times 1 itself because of the location of the 1 area, although it's the 5 area. And you know what's funny about the 5 area over here is that, and I'm going to lose what I was just talking about, right? But that's okay. I'll come back to it. Is that when you count all these areas here and you average it averages out to 5. But this 5 area can either be played as 9 or it can be played as 1. If you start here and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we started in the center. We went all the way around, right? Or we can go 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's first or last, right? You can put it in any position you want. You can put it in first, second, third, fourth. You can put it in the 5th position, right? Or what about the 4th position here? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Call this the 5th or call this the 1st. What do you call this one? Or how about saying this? 1, 5, and 9. We'll put 2, 3, and 6. We'll put 2, 3, and 4 between 5. And between 5 and 9, we'll put 6, 7, and 8. Different ways to put these numbers together and the stories that come out of it. I didn't want to talk about that this cube and this are the same. These is the same as this. It's all blank, right? Then what came out is only your picture, your reflection. And then you become a value of coordinate space. We connect the 3 worlds together. We also have this. If you take a look at this. Whoop, it went blank, eh? Okay, I just took a back screen of it, right? And then there's this, the coordinate space. Okay, now in this coordinate space, in reality, if you take a good look, you might have 9 dots, but they were stretched out to the corner, showing just 4 boxes. There should have been showing 9 boxes, right? There should have been showing 9 boxes. It only showed 4 boxes. So I'm going to get some hot water in the kitchen, and I'm going to come back here. I'm going to see if I can stay on track and come back to understanding 5 and 1. What numbers do you want to know? If I'm only talking about, let me see this, navigation, coordinate, communication. Okay. It's this is a tool. This is a tool. It's a face. It's one of these faces, which is the same as a black face, which is the same as the Saturn square, the House of Kaaba. They're all numerated. They all tell a story in their numeration. What happens when we bring Saturn square all to 15s? What is the difference between this and the phone? The phone, the 1 starts up here. When it's the phone, we have letters on it. Why does the number 1 on the phone have no letters, but it shows like a little recorder? Why are there 4 letters on 7 and 9? Why does the ATM have 2 letters on the number 1? What are those letters? Where did they come from? Okay, and what do they say? So I'm going to tell you all this during this contact. If you want to talk about number 33, 888. When you see 111 on the clock, where does that come from? What does it say when you see 111 on the clock? When you see 724 on the clock, what does that say? I have all this information in here. Sometimes my thing was I thought that the only way I can remember is I went and I said, talk to me. Talk to me. I wrote you down. Now talk to me. The Dead Sea Scrolls, they won't talk back. Reading and writing, no contact, no memory, no transparency no transparency. If someone wants to see something a little bit deeper in this world that actually is a science, I'm showing you a science. You look at my science, you go, doesn't make any sense. The guy's a little cuckoo. Or you say, I'm going to give it 10 minutes. Explain to me something small. How can something that small as a dog and a cat tell me about number 42? To tell me about the seventh gate? To tell me about the octagon and the communication center of the four houses? To tell me that the letter R will be when I'm asleep and the letter I will explain a wing that when I'm awake? That when I say the letter R, the 18th letter, that will communicate fine in numbers in creation, since my base creation is 3. It'll be 3 times 6 to equal to the 18. To the 2 houses, the 2 times 9 birth to equal to the 18, or the 1 times 18 to equal to the total of 18. To where that number 18 doesn't come just alone, but number 18 comes with one of its wings. A, B, C, D. 1, 2, 3, 4 equals to 10. Plus 8 equals to 18. If it was minus 8, it would equal to 2, telling me I come from the 2 houses. But in one of the houses from the 10, it tells me I come with a 5. And I ask you, how do you come with the 5, the 10? Because I hook up my jack over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equaling to 15. 15 or 51 coming into Saturn square, where 432 is the vibration of 3 days of creation, the basic creation of alpha beta. It still happened. So you back up here and you have your 10, you have your tandem wheels, you're on your tractor trailer, you're on number 72, the House of Bait, the big rig, 2772, 9 times 8, 3 times 9. Now, one of the ways we need to equal to 8 is over here. See, our coming in is A, B, C, D, 10. That's your wing. That's your basic wing system. Here is a boot. These 4 here. These 4 here are another boot. You can do it any way. There's many ways to create these boots on here. I only show you the basic 10 boots, but there's many boots. These 3 up here and here. These up here and here. It's a combination of 4. This one does not make that combination of 4. The 5 will reach out to the lower world and the upper world, the smokestack, or down into the ground. If it came up over here, right? If I started here and I came up here, 5 would reach into 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, except counted down to a single digit, everything remains in here. 9 by 9 by 9. I think that's 729. Inside the House of Bet, born inside the House of Bait. And circumferencing the 999 is 11, 11, 11. That's where the cube steps in. Or is it 11 by 13 by 11, but there's a rim on the outside, which is also going to represent the 50 stars. It represents the 50 stars because remember, when creating something, we need to use all the coordinate space. Have you ever seen a Monopoly board? Right? Monopoly board, you go all the way around the board. But if you take a close look, there are squares all over the place. It takes 168 area spaces surrounded by 1. Where there's 24 and 1 on the cross. Where there's 7 7, 7, 7, 28, like the 28-day cycle of the moon, but not counting this one, there's 6, 6, 6, and 6 for the 24, 7 days of the week. One works with the moon, one works without the moon. 6 times, because it's part of what is one is, and it automatically turns 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 24-hour day with the one singular moon. When you count from here all the way to here, it equals to 6. When you count on here, it equals to 7. I count the 6 here, and then here's 7. So I count 4 sevens in their individual zone, yet this is 24, and 1 equals to 25. So we can understand how the week and the moon works with that week, 6 by 28 or 7 by 24. It's 88, or the constellations that travel the complete outside of the Monopoly board, and there's 80, which is 88. 8 times 8, 8 plus 8 is 64, and 16 equals to the 80 that are the inside and the one center here. It's a 13 by 13 formation. Now, understanding where are we going to begin in this formation, and to note, this one here will stand for what is Mars. This one here will stand for what is Earth. This one here will be ape, life, go, sky pass, communication. This one here will be at the 7th gate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That'll be the movement of gematria living amongst the houses. So here we come to the 4 houses, or the 4 by 4, 16 areas of Mars. And we have Mars on all the corners. We have Earth at all the centers. Looks like a dart game. This one goes with the game of pool. The game of pool has a singular extra ball to what is the stripe, to what is the solid. There are 7 and 8 in pool between stripes and solids. Remember that our creation 11 was exchanged. Our creation of father and mother was exchanged into the E world. Okay, we became man 6. From this, 1 and 2 comes together in your 6-3 creation into the 5-4 creation. Male, female. Sun pass, okay, creation of 11. I'm going to try to explain this. This is the heavens, okay, and this is the heavens, H and I, the high heavens, 17Q. This is where your number 12 comes in, because we use it this way and this way. We use it this way during the day. We use it this way at night. Altogether, okay, it's going to spell the word Heinz. It's going to spell the word Heinz. And I'm going to show you why it's going to say Heinz, but I definitely need some water. Before I go, I want to explain to you that 18-wheeler. What it is in an 18-wheeler, it's got the 10 to the front. It's one of the wings, right? 2 wings, let's call it Venus, let's call it Taurus. Let's call the back door to the wings, we can call it 1 or 2. Either we can call it what we pull as the 7th gate in Libra, but it actually becomes the 8 wheels, it becomes Capricorn riding on Scorpio. Or the reverse way, it be Taurus riding on Cancer, right? And Bélier or Aries would be all the way through it, connecting. One will connect to everybody like ringing the bell, right? Let's call the outside of the bell Taurus. What can we call the outside of the bell? Would you call it Taurus, right? Or would you call it Cancer, the outside of the bell? Taurus, or would you call the outside of the board Scorpio? You have the Aries in the center here. You have the Scorpio over here, right? The vibration that comes after Scorpio, okay, is going to be the vibration that's going to come to Capricorn, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aries, and Pisces, okay? And the inside, the vibration is going to come to Taurus. Well, what's right at the top, Taurus, is because the bar that goes around, right? What they call the bit might be the Taurus that goes to each side that holds the swinging, right? Or did they make a hole in the top? So even if you make a hole in the top, anything that goes around and touches 2 sides automatically touches Taurus on both sides, Okay, so let's call it Taurus is the second one. So then when the bell hangs, right, from the Taurus, the first place it hangs before it makes any movement is going to be into Gemini. And then when the bell rings, it will be crossing, okay, through all the signs and vibrating. Will it be vibrating its way up? How will the vibration take place in this? I don't know why I spoke about that. Let me go back to the 18-wheeler, is that when you connect the 18-wheeler, the back, okay, the 48-foot or the 53-foot, you're connecting electric company. The truck became longer. You connected electric company, which is either and, okay, the electric moon that we run with, or the connecting moon of frequency, okay, or the heavens that we are in right now, which everything resides, all the power of the light of the sun, right? Do we need the exit door moon, or is it the sun sucking in through the moon for the brightness that it is, or is it pushing into the... See, some of these questions, I don't have answers right now, but the question is still there. The equation is still there. So just to say, this is how it works. You have, and then I'm going to get my hot water. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 added equals to 10. It also looks like a wing. You have another wing up over here. The fifth wheel of your 18-wheeler plugs up to the trailer. So it plugs up to 8. So 10 plugs to 8, and we scratch our heads and we say, I've heard that before. October is the 10th month, yet it says octo, 8 and 10. It just so happens, see that area here? That's the fifth area, according to this calculator. There are 8 areas that go around. There are 8 voided areas that go around. The E-world pulling the heavens, 18. It just so happens that the sun is part of that 18 number. It is 3 times 18, equaling to 54, equaling to S-U-N. Now the S-U-N, S is 19. What is 19? Now, as you can see, I created the shoe over here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 in a straight row. Instead of putting it in a shoe position, I put it straight. So 1 and 9 connects top left to bottom right. Number 4 connects top right to bottom left. So now we've put the 5, we've locked in the 5. I've crossed it twice. 5E, 10J. J and E says I. Here's the beginning of my 1010 star. But when 9 comes in, 8 comes in. When 1 comes in, 2 comes in. It'd be 17 and 3, and it'll be 7 and 13. Remember what 7 and 13 is. 7 and 13 is the 1, 6 connect, the 3, 4 connect, the 5, 2 connect. Or it is the 9, 4 connect, the 7, 6 connect, the 8, 5 connect. And just to note that when you have 13, 1 and 3 is 4. Therefore, we've now connected these two. 7 and 4 become 11 when you connect the two of them. That's your 7 and 4 connection. What is 7? 7 goes to the 7th gate. This cube, when you play with 2 cubes, right? When you play with 2 cubes, you have the 7th gate. The 7th gate is where 3 of these cubes, when you turn them around, they will create 7 on 7. They will create 7 on 7. They will create 7 on 7. So what passes through here? 6 and 8 passes through 7. So we're going to take a look at that. We're going to take a look at that. Yeah, I wish I put a blackboard up so you can see this easier. So I just wanted to finish with the 18-wheeler and how it reaches the sun, right? Let me write that down, and how we get to the 7th gate. And also, number 8 is not like 7 and 9. It's different than 7 and 9. In French, it's different. B for birth date to single digit for a life path numbers of multiple alternative realities. Yes. Multiply for alternative realities. add, multiply, subtract. But when you're doing it, understand that you're creating more branches, more roots, more leaves, more stories. So I right now I do that all the time, you know. It's all the time, right? It just happens all the time. Remember, let's go down to the base. And the only reason I'm sharing it is I'm hoping somebody's writing this down. I'm hoping somebody learns just a little bit, that we can come together, that we can create a system, some kind of system that we can go back to it and ask a question and punch it in. We have the answer because we're answering the questions now. How we build these equations so we can understand the differences in the numbers, which the numbers are connected to the letters. The letters are characters connected to dots and dashes of what creates our words. To that we created language, and in the language we put conjunction to a function of a word, where we gave a definition where there was a verb and an adverb. So now we have tons of books telling us about different rules and regulations for words, that even when we go forwards, we also have to understand that when there's Scrabbles and games don't make mistakes when it's fair for everybody's understanding. And when you play Scrabble and you get the number of letters, it doesn't say you have to use all the letters. So use some of the letters. And it says you can't use IR or ING or ER because they're not words, they're add-ons. So what are these add-ons doing? How are they changing something? So the minute you see these 3 letters or 2 letters or 1 letter in a word, what are you going to be thinking? Are you going to say 1 letter? You're going to go, oh my God, I must be with Aries. Or 1 letter, I must be with the rat. Unless I'm thinking backwards, I'll be with the pig. Maybe I'm with Pisces because they're the first zodiac sign. What if I wanted to think about 2? Will I go over to Libra and Virgo because they're the heart of the 12? If I wanted to go to the heart of something that was odd like 7, I would probably jump up 7 of 13. Okay, I would probably jump up and say we're going to go to Libra, that we should start with the rat and end with the rat. Then the center of my connection of 13 is going to be Libra. Okay, and it's going to be 6 and 6 away. Or was that right? So we'd go, sorry, we're going to jump onto the horse. So we're going to do not the horse, we're going to do the goat, and then we're going to do the monkey, then we're going to do the rooster, then we're going to do the dog, then we're going to do the pig, and then the 6th one, okay, is going to be the rat. Now what we're going to do is we're going to jump from the rat, right? We're going to jump onto what's first after the rat, and after the rat everybody knows is the ox. And then the 3rd one is the tiger, and then the 4th one is the, hold on a second, oh my God, it's mine, it's the rabbit or the cat. And then we have the dragon, then we have the snake, then we go back on to the horse again, right? So we have to understand how our rotation works, and according to these cubes, because they rotate the same way, right? To the 6th side or to the 7th side. So there's 1 between 2. And when I mentioned 1 between 2, if I'm looking at it this way, I've got a perfect division equal to each side. Or if I'm counting this way, rows of 4, I have to use 2 areas. If I use 2 areas, I'm going to count the 2 moons of Mars. If I'm going to use 1 area, I'm going to count the 1 moon of Earth. That brings everything together. I have to understand how things are tied up amongst the numbers before I can go on and say, oh yeah, I got the analytics on the number, but I have no idea what the number means. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where it came from. So also to say back to the 18-wheeler in the sun, I'm going to get back to that. I want to put a little music. It's a little drabby over here for the sound. I need that vibration. Let me see if I can get this vibration I really like. Hold on a second. Yes, this one I really like. We're going to get back to the sun. And if you can tap and like the page, it'll help others recognize that I am here. Right? Nice jacket. Hey, Jack 25, ET 5G TV. Take me for your ride. The number 52 and 2 and 5, okay? 2, okay, is 13. 5 is 4 and 2. 6 and 13 equals to 19. 1 and 3 is 4. Okay, now what 13 does is it brings you up to the moon. Okay, it can bring you up to the AC/DC moon. The multiplication of 1 times 3, 1 plus 3 is 3 and 4. DC are direct current, right? Or deferred current, or altered current for AC. So it brings me up to the moon because my 3 times 4, 3 plus 4, okay, will equal to 12 and 7 equaling to 19. The 19, 3 by 19 is going to be 57. 3 by 18 is going to be 54. So now we have the sun and the moon. The total is 111. I have the heart of 36 numbers. I have the heart. Okay, I am in the heart right there. 111 is at the heart. 3 by 37, creation of the seventh gate. Okay, and there's tons of stuff. I just mentioned a lot of information. There's a lot of connections. We live in the 10 star system, as I mentioned. The 7-2, the 8-1, where the 10-wheeler comes into the sun. 10 minus 8 is 2 in the house of Bate. Taurus and the ox. In the 11th side, we're going to connect this center to this side and this center to this side, because in the birth of 2 become the 9 birth in the house of Bate. In the heavens, it becomes the one spirit of creation. 9 and 2, 8 and 3, 6 and 5, 11 to 7 and 4, 11. 11 and 9 is when the star system comes together, 9/11. You go up and down, it's all by 3. You go east and west, it's all by 1. If you go up to the right angle, it's all by 4. You go up to the left angle, it's all skipping by 2. And you keep going by 2, and every time you make a division of any of these combinations of numbers, okay, that I'll set before you that already exist, it will always be a perfect number relating to one of the vibrations. Whether you're directly on or like Terrence Howard said, there's something in between that nobody knows. He's absolutely right, because I've calculated it. I can show you. What Terrence Howard has said, I can show you. If they said he is a fool, maybe he's a fool in his ways. Maybe he doesn't know the whole system, but he knows. He sees it. I see it, and I can show you. Not only here mathematically, not only with words, how it comes out in designs, even up to another brick on the wall. Teachers, leave those kids alone. There's more teachers and less directors. There's an obligation within the ABCs. A, B, C, D are your 4 obligations. And then you need your principal obligation, right? That makes sure these don't hit these. Because when these are doing what they want and these don't exist, when one of these does what it wants, it goes onto this side. When this one moves, this one moves. When this one moves, this one moves. When this one moves, this one moves. When they're all moving, they're moving on both sides. It's their balance through E, through E5. I'm going to get my hot water. I'm going to explain more about the sun, number 7, 8, and 9. In fact, all the numbers, what they do. For me, it's a blast. I've been looking and doing this for 20 years and asking the same question. How can I have a personal relationship with the Lord? How can I have a personal relationship with God? So now this Lord, Overlord, and Creator, with all these names, how can we actually understand, and where do we put ourselves in this? I can give you that answer. I can give you that answer through understanding how the numeric system works, right? And why would you think that God needed any of us? Why do you think God needed any of us? Guess what? Why do I need any of you? Why do I need any of you? Why are you here? Why am I here sharing? I need you to share that we can sustain. In order to have sustainability, okay, we need to work with an alternative resource. You become the alternative resource. You are live and kicking. Everything I say that you want to retain, that you retain, okay, then I have now shared with somebody else that knows what I know. Thank God if somebody asks me the question to something that I don't remember the answer, that there is an answer for, but I can't recollect at the moment. Now you know. Now you can share it. Now we can see that there's definitely some sort of system that is built because the math is absolutely perfect. But we're only telling the story in the words in this game right now. How it affects you after that, don't let it affect your outside the game life. But if it does, adjust your thinking to know that we do live in a system, there is a creator, and if I had to do it, I created you. You wouldn't know this unless I shared it to you. Now what you know, I created you, because now you know it. Whatever you add on to yourself, That's great. Now we share it. We become the us, the universal vibration, because we now understand. We can all understand how to think. So the good Lord created something of its own substance for itself. Now it had itself thinking on its own without it getting in its own way, because the only way to double task is make more of you and share with you, and we breathe the same air. So every time you breathe into that air, Puff the Magic Dragon picks it all up, and it knows everything about you into the aether, and however you feel will affect everybody that's around you. That's within the game. But we can't have sorrow and live in that world all our life. But at least we know it's there, it exists. If there was no evil, you would know nothing today. Without the evil, you know nothing. You need to know the difference. The difference is always the evil. The evil of the two because you didn't make the choice. The evil of the two because you did make the choice. Satisfied and happy with the choice you made, that you didn't make the other choice. Thank God I didn't make the other choice. Thank God. I could have drove into the car. Rules and regulations. How many do we need in this e-world? And 10 is not 10. 10 is substandard. On here, there's 40. So if we made 10 rules and regulations, we only made 25% of the rules and regulations. We need 4 sides for all the rules and regulations, because every single side connects 7, 3, 9, 1, 4, 6, 8, 2. That's 40. 40, 40, 40, 40. 160, 200, 240. 24 hours in the day. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4, create the 8 and 6. Remember we were talking divided by the 7th gate? We now create the 8 and 6 by understanding 4 and 2 and 2 and 4. And remember, 4 and 2, okay, or 2 and 4 is almost like 1 and 2, which is almost like 3 and 6, which is almost like 4 and 8. Right? How's that so? 1 and 2, I can say it's a half. 2 and 4, I can say it's a half. 3 and 6, I can say it's a half. 4 and 8, I can say it's a half. They're all related to the half. The 4 and 8, right? If I wanted to do it different, what if I had less than half of what 4 is and 8? Let's say I had 8 times 0.5 to equal to 4. Let's say I had 16 times 0.5 to equal to 8. Let's say I had 4 times 0.5 to equal to 2. And let's say I had 2 times 0.5 to equal to 1. So now we have another situation. Are we allowed to reduce to 0.5? And I'm going to say yes. And when we do reduce to the 0.5 calculation, we're going to be working with 3 and 4. That is where the E-world comes in, because the difference between 4 and 3 is 1 whole. I, in my work, right, 1 whole is 1 whole. When I start at 1 whole, I'm going to start in the center of something at 3.5, work myself halfway this way and halfway this way from the center core, or the deadline post, or on the core. So I only come out to the 3 and 4 that does this on the cube. When it's the 5 or the 2, right, that becomes 1.5. So now I've come out to Mars. When I work with the 6 and the 1, that's when I come out to Earth. 6, 1, Earth. 2, 5, Mars, multiplied by 2. And 3 and 4 is the E-world. Let's call it Jupiter. Okay, let's call that E-world Jupiter, the electronic world. But the electronic world is hooked up. It's hooked up to Saturn. But it lives in the heavens of Neptune, which is actually which is actually everything belonging to the heart of Mercury, okay, and to the circumference or to the world of Venus. Now, there's many ways to look at this. We have to break it down. Should I put the number 1 in the center, extending its arms to the outside, right? Or should I say number 1 to the center, extends its ends to the outside, then connects to the outside and makes a circle here on this side of the center, okay? Goes to the outside, makes a circle on that side of the center, goes on the inside, makes a circle in the center, connecting over the outside, and then makes a circle over each one of those centers it's created, and that's how Alpha creates. And when it creates to its circle, creating the rib, that's where the house of Bait comes in, living inside this connective energy communication of Alpha in the house of Bait, and then communicating with that information with Bet's language. Is that understood? Is that I say that properly? Neptune, Neptuna. Okay. I like that. I have so much stuff here. Tuna. In Neptuna, when you reach the ton, it's also something to do with the Mayans. The pen, so the pig pen is going to be included in this. I like to think that in Neptune, it begins as it ends. It's exactly the same thing. In some of the words, in some of the work I do, in some of the numbers, when you end at 9, right, it's like there's no connection over here. Should I be connected to something else, or does it tail off like into the water? Unlike a shoelace, I'll work with 12. It begins as it ends as it begins. It's exactly perfect, right? And when you 1 and 12 and 12 and 1 become 13 and 13 become 4 and 4. So it says my bookends are 4 and 4. Does that mean my 3 and 3 are right in the center? Wow, let me look at that. I got 4 and 4. I got 3 and 3. Wow. So that would be 0.5 and 0.5 living in the center. So, because there's different kinds of understandings when it comes to numbers. Like if you would say 343, right? I would get 3 days of the week and 4 days of the week, and that would be 7. Okay. I would get 6 days of the week, right? And I would say, okay, I have a place to stop, right? I got 6 days of the week. I got a place to stop. I take the 6 days of the week, starting with Sunday, right? And I end on Friday. Is that correct? Or do I start when do I start my 6 days of the week? So I start my 6 days of the week on Sunday, I end on Friday, and then 1 day of rest. So that would be 6 times 28 equals to 168, or 7 times 24 equals to 168. Like I showed in the Monopoly, I'm going to come back and show that again. Now, what if I did that? Right, we would call that the day of rest. But now, what happens if I take the 5 days? I'm going to automatically put, it's going to be the work days, right? And then we have the 2 days. And what most are going to call the weekend, I'm going to call the ring. Okay, we're going to put weekend. We have days, we have work days. With the work days, we have the work week. So the work week consists of 5 and 2, right? In which it used to be 6 and 1. But when we come to the 3 and 4, if you notice 5 and 2, 6 and 1, and 3 and 4, when we come to the 3 and 4, we can't look at it the same way, because what do? Do I go from Sunday all the way over to Tuesday, right? And then do I go Wednesday over to Saturday? Or do I go Sunday, okay, over to Wednesday? Call that the hump day. Maybe that's why they make 4, right? And then we go Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday. And very often they even script it that during the week when it comes to a Thursday, a lot of times in the past days, and I like to work from a guy from the 60s, they called it ladies' night, right? And then Friday was the family dinner, it was the Sabbath, and it went all the way into Saturday, so they made everything on Thursday, right? That ladies' night. And Friday was the day the man came. So what did they celebrate on Thursday? Because man came on Friday, right? That's how they worked it in Genesis of some sort. But regardless of the fact, I look at the 4-3 days of the week as the 3-1-3 day of the week, where I centralize the Wednesday, okay? As the zodiac is always turning, this would be the center of the week. I would go back 3 days. And if I go back 3 days, I'm on to another 5 system. And when I go forward 3 days, I'm on to another 5 system. That's the difference. Otherwise, if I use the 6-day system, if I go 5 days here, here's day 6, here's day 7. If I use the 5-day system, I got these 5 days here. I have these 2 days over here. Do you follow what I'm saying? I need to understand how I get from hand to hand. So if I do work in a 5-day system, and I note that this would be like a Sabbath day, the Wednesday and the Saturday would be a little bit different. See, the Saturday I can tie up to a Sunday. But let me get back to this ranking. That 5 and 2, 7, what it is and we use 25 years to life, right? Is they build themselves back up again. If I put any number with 5, right? If I put let's say 1 with 5, okay, it'll be 5 times 5 is 2.5, right? 5 and 2 equals to 1. 5 and 3 equals to 1.5. I'm just going to show you what happens. 5 times 3 is 15. 1 and 5 is 6. 5 times 2 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. 5 times 1 is 5, so it becomes itself. Now here's the other way. 1 divided by 5 is 2.5, or 5 divided by 1 is 2. Hold on a second, that's wrong. Half of 1 is 0.5. So I don't know why I'm, okay, yes, wow. Because I do 2 different equations at the same time. This is all going to be a little weird. Half of 1 is 0.5, right? Half of 5 is 2.5, but half of 2 is 1. Half of 3 is 1.5. Only because I'm using this. 5, even though it went to 15, okay, it also becomes less than. 5 times 3 is 15, right? It's less than, it's 1.5. 5 times 2 is 10. It's 1. At the same time, if I wanted to look at it this way, this one will be 5, this one will be 10, this one will be 15, or 5, 1, 2. This basic of your first creation of 5, 1, 2, that's your Mars-Earth communication memory of the yo bro. I'm writing it down. And I'm still going to get back to the tractor trailer and the truck. So what happens is 5 times 5, 5 plus 5, is 25 and 10 equaling to 35. 25 minus 10 is 15. This is the center of this cube, 3.5. Number 7 has 3.5 at the center. 8 times 3.5 is the 28-day cycle of the moon. Which needs 1.25, in order to reach this. 28 times 1.25 equals to this numeric value. 555, the crossing of the E world in this cube, 5 times 5 times 5 equals to 125. In order to cross through this cube on each time, you must cross through the 5 position. When you cross that 5 position 3 times, it creates 15, the letter O. When you want to come to the heart, to the passage of this, or to the what they call the pole, okay, you need to reach this number over here, 3.5. When you reach that, it's reaching through here and here, the 0.5 area. It's also the 0.5 area here, but it's a 1.5 area. Here it's a 2.5 area. This is to describe the awake and asleep, the high Q, the same along with this one here. This is going to describe how the sun is split. S-U-N, sun. The S letter is the entire reality of this cube. The entire reality of this cube is the S-U-N letter. Not only that, that the S-U-N, okay, equals to 54. Also equals to the word ace, which can be regarded as the letter A. That when the letter A opens itself up onto each side of both worlds, that your life comes into existence in between the two worlds, whether you're awake or whether you're asleep. Where the R letter and the R letter, or Chai 18, embedded into you, the delta angle of the two worlds, when they come together, they'll create the O. These two coming together will create the O. But they're separated with a long line in between. There's separation, giving area space. The M letter, starting from one side, going down over here, up to this side and down, showing the valley between the three worlds, 1,000, 10, 10, 10. Or 10 times what the C world is. Or 2 times what the D world is, 500, 500. The pathway division of M. The I letter, which is number 1 in Roman numerals, comes to the heart of the M letter. At the same time, when you see R and R here, why don't you see the R over here? When you turn it this way, there's an R over here. Just because you don't see all the lines, the line that goes down here and the line here, maybe I'll draw it up for you. For us, sorry if my wording is wrong, improper, let me know. So we would have the R over here also. We would also connect to what is the B and the B. The R, the B, right? This is how they all connect. This is how I believe 180 or 18. This cube has 18 cubes that go around this way and this way. The 19th one is in the center. That everything, when something spins, it's always spinning around the center. So I'm going to get that water in the kitchen. Just give me like 2-3 minutes on break here. Like the channel, share, ask me, like the capstone, sure. Let me see. So, Matt, are you still here with us? Let's see who's still here. Papaloo, Ellie. Yeah, if you have any questions, I see you're always here, and or quite often. And you know, let me see. Am I not missing any questions here? Don't hesitate. Mars window 88. Right. So what's the next one that's going to come out? We already used number 19. We know number 33 is. We already know number 33 is heavily being used. What's a number that needs to come out? We know Walmart is now using number 86 as their gateway. 76 is an old number that they've used many times. What number will they call it? Will they call it? Well, they won't call it ABC 123, or will they call it 321? The cat system, the dog house. They have the dog coin now. I'm trying to think of the new system that would come out. I don't think, why would they already came out with 2.0. They're already talking about 2030. All right. They already have, I think, 3.1, which is on the on these wires over here, 3.1A, right? So what would they come out with? I mean, we have 17Q, so should they come out with 17Q? We had Windows 10, we had 17Q. 25 or a quarter would be for life, would be the reindeer system, the one horse open sleigh. Okay, the one horse open slave, the reindeer system. So what number would Windows be coming out, right? Number 92, you know, that would be a big number. They're using that in bicycle cards. They're using 808 in bicycle cards. They're using 92 in one of the cards. And that would be a huge number, right? That would be a huge number, number 92, because that's the house we are born into, the second house of Bates. There's 4 houses. I do not know how many are connected to us. Remember, with the Tefillin, even though there's 6 sides, you only show 5. What number are you showing on the box of the Tefillin? There are 6 sides, but it seems the Tefillin is always holding itself on the same sides. Where are those ropes or ties hidden into the Tefillin, right? According to this, or the House of Kabah. So I'm going to be taking a 2-minute break. Think of your questions. Walla Walla, magic. So just give me 1 minute. I'm going to see if I can get share, interact, enhance more. Let me see what enhances. I like to do the background. I don't know why it's not giving me the background here. Just 1 second. So it's not showing me the background here. Mute, microphone flip, gifts, activities, support, non-disclosure, no. Enhance. I need to do the enhance. Background, enhance, music, sound effects, stickers, effects. I don't want effects. I don't want effects. Cancel this. Just give me a minute to figure this out. New, trending. What's the clock? Okay, no. What about this? Add effects to the favorites. Trending, new. Green screen. Oh, wait a second. They have green screen. So what if I did this? Just 1 second. Let me see something. I'm just trying to see if I can background. Why won't it let me just put something I want? Tools. No, it would have to be more like that. It says beat to the rhythm when you're speaking, everything will move. Beat to the rhythm, everything will move. See the way, you know what I asked myself about that? How does it come to that pinch motion? Is that a natural pinch motion? And I've asked this before. If we're tying things up together, things change their dynamics. So do all the dynamics come out perfectly before they change to their hairpin dynamic? And what sets them up to be that way? So I want to get out of that. Okay, just give me a minute. I know it might be a little boring. If you need to take off and go to the bathroom or something, this is a great time, right? Because I'm just trying to understand this. Okay, we have this. We have this. I did it last time, you know. Enhance. Smooth shape filters, no. I'm going to go back to enhance. Effects. Trendy new face tools. We had this one on last time, right? I mean, doesn't this one feel pretty good for where we are? So I'm going to be taking my 5-minute break right now, right? Think of some questions. Think of some questions you'd like to ask, right? I'm the, wow, it says I'm the mean lion of TikTok. That doesn't say mean, right? Matter, energy. Now the end letter, right? It's showing me angle. It's showing me angle. So the minute it's showing me angle, which letter, which number? Is it 4 up or is it 3 up? You see the 3 is showing me angle. The 2 is showing me angle. Can I get all 3? Yes. These are the 3 on here that are completely different. Regard the fox, regard the clue, okay, and regard BK and T. So regard the dog, regard the house of bait and the moon and the E-World Connect. Why do I say that? Because the letters that go along with the 6 are FOX. The letters that go along with the 2 are BKT. The letters go along with the 3 are CLU. It just so happens that the 2 and 3, and it's funny, which is 3 and 6 and 6 and 3, the male part, 9 times 4, 9 times 7, 7 and 4 are hugely important in this, hugely important. We run 7 months of 31 days. We run 4 months of 30 days. We have the 1 month, the 28 days of Valentine's, the 14th of Valentine's on the 45th day. The 45th day is 1 face. Add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 equals to 45. Divided by 9 equals to 5. 7 divided by 9 equals 1.4. Sorry, 5 divided by 7 divided by 5 is 1.4. Remember that number? 7 divided by 5. And then 5 divided by 7 equals this number, 7142857. So 7 and 1 is actually part of that gateway. If you're thinking about time in the day, or you ever think about time in the day where you would say, oh, look, I see 222 or I see 333. You ever think of that, right? You ever think of that, 222, 333? No, no one ever think of that? I'm going to go back to my regular face here and get rid of this for a minute if I know how. Not back. Is it background? Just let me. No, not this. Let me get rid of this tiger face for a minute. Oh, I think it's enhance. No, it's not enhance. Oh, let me see. No, sorry about that. I'm trying to remove this mask from myself, and I don't remember how I did it. Maybe it's effects. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay. How you doing? 222 since a child. It's all 222. I'm going to come back and show 222, but there's not enough likes, not enough people. Sounds like I'm talking to myself. So I got to build up this strength. AI, let me in. AI, let me in. I don't know why it's not letting me in. It's going to be 11:11 in a minute. It's going to be 11:11 in a minute. Let me just... Oh, yes, we had this music going, right? Just give me a minute. I'm looking for... oh, I can be doing that T right now, right? So let me do that T. I'm going to put on a little music here. The water is boiling. Sorry for leaving my chair like that. That was very impolite of me. So I'm going to show about 222. So yeah, if you followed me yesterday with this, I'm going to show you the 222 here. And even Indian Pale Ale, right, is also talking about two suns, right? And Indian usually talks about summer. So they're talking about two suns, right? Right? Indian. They're talking about two suns in the word. And here is where it is. The movement of ABC. Okay, instead of me continuing on, because I can just go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And when I do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, it just tells me that should I be connecting 3 and 1 together? Should I be connecting 3 and 1 together? I didn't do that. Let me do that underneath. Now let me do this over somewhere else. Hold on. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to do that on another page. Right, I'm going to do that on another page. I'm going to do the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to do this. So on here, I'm going to connect these two. Then I'm going to connect these two. And then I'm going to do this 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to do then what I'm going to do then I'm going to do so right now what I'm writing down here is only 1, 2, 3, okay? Whoop. And now I'm doing the last one. Okay, here's what it is. It looks like this. When we're connecting, okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, it's never more than 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 together. So it'd be 1, it'd be 5, it'd be 1, it'd be connecting 5, it'd be 1, it'd be connecting 5, it'd be 1 connecting 5. Scenario 2, it'll be 3 connecting 3, connecting 3, connecting 3. I had a question in between. Since I'm using this, should I be putting 0, right? Should I be putting a 0 here and a 2 here? You see there's a 2 missing between this one, right? Should I be putting zeros and zeros between these? I didn't. This is the way I left it. The other question is, between 1 and 2 is a 0.5. Between 3 and 1 is a 2. It's a 2 and a 0.5. Should I be talking about those at all? In between here, it's a 2, 3, 4 on each side, equaling to 9. Should I be looking at this? 2, 3, 4 fits in between here. 2 times 3 times 4, 24. 2 plus 3 plus 4 is 9. When I'm going up, I add it. When I'm going down, I subtract it. The letter O, the birth at the divided gate. Should I go this way? Like I said, between the two numbers, put an O just to note that there was an area space used, but now it's in conjunction, right? Same thing over here, before and after. Should I be using these zeros, or should I just leave it all threes? In this scenario over here, 1, 2, 3, I'm now connecting the threes. So my first number, if you note, I started with 1 here, right? Or a 3 here. See the 3 at the beginning, the 3 at the beginning. Always the 3 at the beginning or the 1 at the beginning. So when we do this here, we end up with 6, 2, 2, 2, 6, 2, 2, 2, 6, 2, 2, 2, which would end up to be 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. In this one over here, it starts off with 3, and you get 4, 2, 4, 2. So you have the divided gate with 1, 3 comes in. You have the star system when you're connecting the 3, 3 together, the 3, 3. Sorry, I think it's the House of Bait sun system, the divided sun system between birth and your life. You're connecting the ones, the two worlds over to 1, connecting your 2, 2, 2. In between here, okay, is the same thing. It's 3, 4, 5 equaling to what is 60, and 12 equals to 72, or it's 3, 4, 5 equals to what is 60 minus 12 equals to 48. Now we have to understand, inside the House of Bait is the sun, the ring, and the pole. To understand that 765 is the reverse of this, we have to know what to do with these 3 numbers. We'll have to learn what to do with these 3 numbers. And if we're going to count the 33, right, and we can't get there, we can use the alphabet and use the 16th and 17th letter. How about the PQ, right, which your post mailbox, PQ, post mailbox in Quebec. Here we finish off with XE. The 24th letter is OX, that comes between the 2. It seems like, right, that W, number 23, is actually possibly the last letter. Number 23 is possibly the last letter that reunites you to life. It is 23, right? It is 1 through 22 equaling to 231, okay? Plus 1 to 22 equals to 23. So my question is, should I add on number 23 to this, right? Should I add on 1 and 22 to this? Most of the time I do, and then we end up with this number over here, 254. So 54 is sun, 54 is love. What happens in love? You join. What do you join? You join 10 and 10. You join the 2 systems together. Right? You remember the tractor trailer, the 10-wheeler, pulling it into the E-world? You're connecting it across. You're connecting it across 4 and 6, and then 6 and 4. Right? 4 and 6. 4 and 6 on this side. 4 and 6 on this side. Right? Is your 10-10 world coming together? Or what happens to the E in this? Does it mean the 4 is on this side? The 6 is on this side? You put the E over here. You play with this area over here is 10, this area over here is 10, then add on a singular 5. How should that be done? That's one of my questions. But do note that going straight across here is going to be 18. 9 and 9, 18. We bring our life into this 18 over here, and we live at this rule over here. So if we have 9 and 9, we're going to take 4 out of it here and leave it at 5. We're going to take 4 out of it here and leave it at 5. We'll have 4 and 4 to create our 8 life over this area here. What numeric value comes over here? Is this a division between an area space, or is it an area space itself? Needs to be understood before we can give an answer to that question. I'm going to check my hot water in the kitchen, and I'm going to come back. Just give me a minute. My computer is down. If you like to help support the channel, that would be mighty fine and dandy. I can't get my computer open. It opens and it shuts down. Oh yeah, we got some real hot water here. So we're gonna see if we can get some syrup out of here. Okay, we're coming back. I'm going to take the jacket off. Continue to Windows 10. Use device. Use USB drive network connection or Windows recovery DVD. Trouble. Reset your PC or advanced options. Let me see what this says. Advanced options. Startup settings. Change Windows and startup behavior. Command prompt. Restore system. No, I don't start up repair. No, I already did all that, so I did that. I'm just gonna see if I can continue on. I don't know what it is. I think they wanted me to switch to Windows 11, and because I didn't, I think they scrapped my computer or something. That's what I think. Okay, so we got our hot tea over here. I just have to check what time it is. Sort of on a little time limit today. Okay, it's 11:26. Okay. A little sad that I'm not on my. I can't be on my my YouTube channel at the same time. Give me a second. You know, somebody mentioned to me I did a video yesterday and I used H2O as O being O for oxygen and not the zero, right? The zero is an area space. I like to understand the zero, right, as an area space that takes up 6 numbers other than a zero that takes up 8 numbers over here. So I like to call the zero occupying 6 area spaces, whichever area 6 spaces you want. And then the 1 that goes next to it, you'll have a straight line and a 0, 10, combinating of 3 areas, combinating of 6 areas. Unless, okay, we want to go and use the last row and use all 12 areas, noted that we'll have 4 and that will have 8. So R12 is going to be one of the 2. So yeah, other people are inviting me to create. Maybe I will eventually. My Dell Input Ultra Sharp is now not accepting my Okay, so give me a minute. Okay, now the thing is, what does 33 mean? Now that's a big question. What does it say for me? What does it tell me in numbers? Okay, one of the things about numbers is we run in a 3-3 system. We run four seasons in the year, right? That's 3 times 4 is 12. We run cycles, whether it's on the ruler or not, but the 3, okay, is opposite, and 4 is not really 3 and 4. It's 3 opposite 3 with 1 in the center. The 3 and 4 is the full extension from side to side on every single one of these cubes, right? But the reality is it's 1 in the center, okay? And now if you're going to count the outside, okay, 1 area in the center. Don't look at these dots. It's 1 area center to get to the outside of here, to get to the outside of here. 1 full area center. The full area center. So what does number 1 mean? It's a connection. 3 times 3 equals to all 9. 3 times 3 times 3 will equal to 27. The cube is 26 and 1, 27. The numeric value of 33, 3 times 3, 3 plus 3, will create what is 9 and 6. 9 and 6 is 15. It's related to Saturn's square. Saturn square is everything that connects with 15. It eventually connects to our time. 33 can be 30 seconds or 30 seconds or 30 minutes to create these 60 seconds or 60 minutes on a clock. It creates your day coming of your landing here, which is 3 and 3, which is 6. This cube will be 3 and 6 and 6 and 3. 3 doesn't come alone. It talks about the male. If it's the 4, it's going to talk about the female. And it's the 4 and 5 with the female, opposite of what the 6 and 3 of the male over here. The 3 is going to be everything that will fall into its category. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 by 4 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. 3 by 7, 21. 2 and 1 is 3. 3 by 2 is 6, which is 2 3s. 3 by 5 is 15. 1 and 5 is 6. 3 by 8, 24. 2 and 4 is 6. All of this moves into here. 3 by 3 is 9. 3 by 6 is 18. We've taken this whole calculator, this whole row, shoved it in here. This whole row, shoved it in here. And then took this one and put it in here. And put that one, put it in here. When we put this one in here, we put it in there as 18. 3 by 6 is 18. We connect the plane. We connect the plane. The plane line connecting the two worlds together. The other thing about the 3 is when you divide by 3, this becomes 0.333, 1333, 2333, 1066. So when you're counting at zeros, this one and this one remain at 0. 033, 066. Here you get into 1. 133, 166, 233, 266. Right? So we have to understand where 3 is. Another thing about 3 is 3 times 3, 3 plus 3 is going to equal to 69. Right? Or, sorry, let me do this again. Yes, 3 times 3, 3 plus 3, okay, is going to equal to 6 and 9. Let's say 69 or 96. 69 or 3 times 23, living in the house of Bait. A, B, C, D. We live in the house of Bait. Okay, everything works by 3s. It's A, B, C, or it's B, C, D. From the combination total of A, B, C, D. You have BC that connects to both worlds. So the BC connecting to both worlds would be your ABC, okay, or just your C from the first world and your C from the last world. Your CC coming into creation. Between B and D is C, where A enters into C as B into this world. It's all going to reflect 2, 2, 2, and 1. So here's your 69. It just so happens that in French, that's the actual last number. In French, okay, in French, 69 is the last relationship numeric number. When I say this, the reason I say this is when you get to 70, you will say 60 and 10. When you mention 10, you already talk about A, B, C, D, one of the wings. That is your 10. Your A, B, C, D is your 10. Your A, B, C is your 6. Your B, C, D is your 9. Your A, B, D is your 7. Your A, C, D is your 8. When you come into the heavens, you come into the heavens under ACD. You bring both worlds together, coming to ACD. You pass through the gateway at ABD. Your birth is BCD. Your life becomes ABC. So when you come into your life, you're in your birth, you are in your C. Whatever it means with these numbers is to understand how your star system works. When you end up with the 6, you end up with the 4, your 10 star. When you have the 8 and the 2, that is your 10 star. When you have the 9 and the 1, it is your 10 star. Your 7 and your 3 is your 10 star. Everything passes through 5E. Everything that passes through 5E, because it is BC 5, BC 5, that connects everything. Your base is here. You live inside here, which is also a base, okay, in your heavens, right? And your divided sun, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, right? 1 and 2 are going to be replaced, or at the same time work along with 8 and 9. There's 9 and 1 equals to 10, 2 and 8 in your star system. When it jumps into the cube, it becomes 2 and 7, and it becomes 8 and 1, creating the 9 face, the 2 dot to the 9 void. Even though there's 9 in here, every connect in this cube will be the star connect 10. Although you don't see the drilled holes in here that you do in here, each side is telling a different story. 5 and 2, 25 years to life, is what cuts everything in half and then brings everything back whole again. Half of anything multiplied by 2 will become whole. 5 is a number that cuts everything in half. 3 is another number that cuts things in half. When we're working on 30 seconds and 30 minutes, it becomes half of what the time is in an hour or in a minute. How are you, Mr. Enlow or Miss Enlow, or what I like to call Eighth? I like to call the creator Eighth. In fact, I came up with a name the other day for the creator, and it had to do with 8 because it's everything. It's a combination of all parts of creation, bringing everything, associating together. And if anybody'd like to come up here to speak with me, that's fine. Another thing for number 23, okay, is that what happens after 22 is Grover Cleveland tied up the shoelace. Grover Cleveland, the 22nd and the 24th. The 23rd was Benjamin Harrison, 2 and 8. When we came to DT, right, the president that just got elected now, right, it's the 45th and 47th. So what we have between 45 and 47 is 46. The lower part of that 46 is 23. So we've come into the same replica. We've just replicated a time between Kamala, K, and H, right? And between B2 and Harrison, H, Harrison, Harrison, right? Inside the word sun says hours, and it's within 51. When you see the HA, it's the one spirit of the 8 that goes around it, HAR, right? One of the planes in Harrison are 2 R's crossing the 360-degree plane. So you have Harris or Harrison. It's also talking about your birth coming in creation, you're 33. Because you're bringing both worlds, 2 worlds together. I'm just going to see if I can create, show you that R, how the different systems also come together. We have the 4 time periods here of 15 minutes. We have the 3 time periods here of 20 minutes. Here Sounded like dripping water. Here you have the 4 system. Here you have the 3 system. Here you have the Mars system. Here you have the Earth system. This star system comes together. In this star system, you can notice I only connected 3 lines. This will equal to 6 cat. Here I connect the 4 lines. It equals to dog. Now I could reconnect it to back to the 3 lines. I would take out this line here and this line here, right? And then I'd end up with 2 lines over here. What did I do? This is a time system. At midnight to 2, it's Capricorn. From 2 to 4, it's Aquarius. From 4 to 6, it's Pisces. From 6 to 8, it's Aries. From 8 to 10, it's Taurus. From 10 to 12, it's Gemini. From 12 to 2, it's Cancer. From 2 to 4, it's Leo. From 4 to 6, it's Virgo. From 6 to 8, it's Libra. From 8 to 10, it's Scorpio. From 10 to 12, it's Sagittarius. And then we start at Capricorn again. So we have to note that when we get to 12 o'clock, we get the Cancer. We get the last 3 of the zodiac signs and the first 3 of the next signs to start 12 o'clock as Cancer. So we have Capricorn at 10, right? Capricorn at midnight. We have Cancer at lunch. So that 103 says JC, or Jesus Christ. That 103 is also 52 and 51 where Earth-Mars connect. The 103 is also where Mercury connects. We have 103, okay, that will also be the king and the queen at 62 and the king at 41, which is the home. We have the divided gate of the house planet at the 7th gate, where the 9 lives of the cats reside, 2 times 4, 2 plus 4. In reflection to that, the same numeric value will come into the word 5, F-I-V-E, and N-I-N-E, both equaling to number 42. When we count 9, we will understand that we can count 9 this way. An association to create what 9 is. 2 foxes, 4.5 and 4.5 equals to 9. The fox headquarters. Or we'll do 1 and 8 on the cube. The 1 dot, the 8 void, 2 and 7 to the 2 dot and the 7 void to the 3, 6. To the 3 dot and the 6 void to the 4, 5 to the 4 dot. And the 5 void, where we're going to get in 3, 6, before creation, we have the male. In the mirror creation, we end up with the female. We go 4, 5. Then we go the 5 dot to 4, so we get a double female together. Inside of 3 and 6 is 4, 5, 5, 4, and then outside of that 5, 4 is now 6, 3. It's 9 times 7, 63. 9 times 4, 36. Where we have 9 times 6 equals to 54, and 9 times 5 equals to 45. So what is 4 and 7 fits what is 5 and 6. It's just so funny the way the 9 times 4, 36 will bookend what is 45, 54. 5 and 6 fits in between what is 4 and 7. We run the 7 months and the 4 months of 31 and 30 days. Inside of what Libra is and Cancer over here, the upper and the lower, almost like enemies. What would you say? Or do they encompass? How are these 2 zodiac signs? And all that this is said, it all comes from, look at that. Sagittarius creates them all. Sagittarius makes everything perfect. How come? At the same time, we also have to note, when we get to this one here, and this one here and the reality of this one here are not the same. Let me show you the next conjuncture of this. Six times 7 equals to 42. 6 times 4 equals to 24. 6 times 6 equals to 36. 6 times 5 equals to 30. This equals to 66. This equals to 66. Absolutely perfect. Where did I do that for? Because the 9 flips over into a 6. As the 5 flips over into a 2, I'm going to get 9 times 2, and I'm going to get 12, and I'm going to get 18. This is what's going to happen to this one here, because the 5 will invert to a 2, and the 6 can invert, the 9 can invert to a 6. I'm going to get these two equations over here. So I'm not sure how they're going to fit into here, but I do know that these two fit on the cube, this one fits on the cube, this one does not. When this one fits on the cube, you will be seeing that one over here. This is a 2.7 void on the cube. So Sagittarius arrow, hello Cleo 444, crisscrossing 222s. How you doing, Corey? How's everybody doing? 4 is my house. Yes, basically I like to see it that way. The house or the boot. So is that true? Is that true? I'm doing good as long as I can come out here and explain what I believe is pertinent to our understanding that there is a creator. There is definitely creator. Somebody created this calculator. We came into this house. We breathe the air of somebody who created the air. We have a calculator that a human being created, or a pen that a human being created. All these human beings of light are the energy or the beam of light running in the frequency under creation, and by virtue of some sort of the connection that we have with Source, that we are capable of creating through the means of what is given through the frequency that we can manipulate and learn here. It all begins up here. You want to smile? It's here. Learning to forgive and forget starts within here and only here. We must learn to live alone. Meditation is so huge, okay? But if you go too deep into knowing who you are and you look under a microscope, do you want me to tell you or show you what you'll see? You'll see this, the pink little pig. That's all you'll see, is all this traveling everywhere. Look the way you can see right through my hand, right? When it's too close, when we see us on a big picture, we look like, hey, look at that mouth moving. But it's only through the breath into the house we live that gave me the capabilities to even think. It's only through the instruments that were created through man, that were shared from the Creator onto us to give us the capabilities, that within the game, within this house we live, are the answers, the transparency of all creation. Only because I see that the mathematics and the design of the letters, that the equations that come from games or sports, football, 3 downs and 4 downs. So we spoke, I wanted to finish off with 33. So we note that 33 also has a nice little design right to it. And I'm going to show you this as I go. I wish I can connect. I can't connect my camera, or maybe I can. I don't have a Bluetooth camera. I wish I did, that I can show you something with another camera up to my iPad. So here's the number 9. It looks like 8. It looks like a line, or the 8 is leaning on something, right? So what we're going to show you is, now I'm going to show you that. Looks like the percentage key. Looks like the percentage key. It can be found on your keyboard on the 5 key, the adjoining key that joins what are the bookends of 1 and 9. So you can see that we have a 9 down here and a 6 up here that looks like the percentage sign. At the same time, it's the 30 star where we have one line going right up here, one line going down here, one line going down here. So your basics of the 9 lives of the cat, or what is the canine living in the doghouse. For those who have seen this letter before, right? It's the V letter, which has a value of 5, which is going to be connected to the K. It's going to tell you about the 11th letter and the 16th letter. The 11th letter, K, right? Or if you want to mention canine, is also talking about 9/11 because of the canine. When you connect the 6, right, or the hexagon, or what is to understand in the octagon. I'm only going to use the first 2 letters, H and O, like ho, 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 or how about number 23? So we're going to get to why 23 is the heart and the center to the new beginning, that everything ends with actually 21, and then it begins at 22. 22, the starter. 13, between 3 and 4, between 13 and 14, between 23 and 24, between 33 and 34, between 43 and 44, between 43, between 43 and 44, between 34, between 53 and 54. All these numbers are new beginnings. We only went up a palier. And once we pass the 20s, we're actually bringing everything back together. We have 1 through 9, and then we have 10 through 18, okay? And then what we have is we have 19 through 28. That's the beginning. After that, everything comes together. Whether you put 10 with 20 to equal to 30, whether you create 2 20s, whether you create a 30 and a 20, or a 3 and a 2. When we understand the base 1, call 110. When you understand base 2, call 220. When you understand base 3, call 330. So if you want to go down to 9, and the only reason we go to 9 is because the reflective star system of what is 10 is 90. What is 30 is 70. We create the 100% of the system. But in between that 100% of the system, and I have my papers and books open all over the place, right, is the residual values, or the in-between values. I mean, if you take a look at all that we get from this using only 3, right, is that 15 and 15, we have 30 over here. So we have a 3-to-1 ratio in what we created in 10 is now 30 and 10 coming together. But 10 doesn't live alone. It is the heart of 20. The heart of 20 comes between 6 and 8. You're born into the 7th gate, into the heavens. Your birth is connected up to the one spirit moon. That one spirit moon is going to show up over here inside of this. And it shows up inside of that at number 19. And that number 19 is going to show up at our moon. 1 and 9 equals to 10. 1 minus 9 equals to 8. 1 times 9 equals to 9. That's your 8, 9, and 10, 27 house of bait. The reason for that is 10 minus 9 equals to A1. 10 plus 9 equals to 19S. So the low side, you have A. The high side, you have S. Let's see if I can do, I don't want to do this quick because there's many ways to create this. So I'm just going to make just something really basic. I don't even know which way to do this because I have a lot of things that are going on. The A letter This is only one part of the A. I'm keeping it really basic, right? When you look at the ace in the deck, if you notice, right, and also to note that you can square a circle twice and then you can recircle. Can you recircle the square? You can square a circle twice. Can you recircle the square? Yeah, you could. See this ace over here? See, inside it has a point, but at the top it has a flat top. How is that possible? I'm going to show you that, but first I'm going to continue on to how number 23, again, I'm jumping onto a bunch of things. So the cube ends at 21. This cube ends at 21. There's 21 dots. But at the same time it ends at 21, it's telling you stories. Around this band is going to be 14. But every single face is 9. Every single face is 9. So when you see 14, it's going to be 14, okay, plus it's going to be 22. It's going to be 7 and 11 and 11 equals to 36. Yes, you heard it right. 11 and 7 are like this. They're poles to each other, connecting poles. They are connecting poles. Every side of this is going to equal to a 9 face. If you want to understand 9/11, if you want to understand what is 22, we also have to understand all the steps of the puzzle it took to say what it says. So I bring to you part of the beginning. I like to call it the skeleton and the bones equaling the skeleton bones, the skull bones. Bone, skull, skull equaling to 1 dot, bone equaling to 1 line. These are also known as what are the bones. Throw the bones. They're talking about the cube. Every single one of these sides are 9. Every single one of them. We have 4 sides on this. It's 36, but we're only counting this. 6 opposite 1, 2 opposite 5. 6 opposite 1, 2 opposite 5. Remaining with 3 and 4. So when you have that number over here totaling 14, right, you will have 14 and 22 equaling to what is 36. That will say that you have 11, 11. That is your 22. When you have 4 sides, note 4 sides, right, is going to be 14 and 22, which is going to be 7 and 11 and 7 and 11. Then you run your pole number, which only has 2 sides. And when you run that 2 sides, should we run the 2 sides as the ox and the 4 sides as the cancer? When we run the 2 sides, right, we will have 7 and 11 void. So when you're talking 33 master number, is you have 33 and 21 dots on this sun cube. 33. Now, the reality of this is it's Rubik's Cube. And on Rubik's Cube, there are 26 cubes. So what we started showing you as one face, 7-11, is going to happen on 26 cubes. You are going to have 26 times 6 equals to 128 156. 26 times 6 equals 156 faces. You will have 78 and 78 face reverse, which will be 26 times 3 equals to 78. So we are going to talk about 3 dog houses. Also to note that number 78 is your basic creation. Your 7 and 2 equals to 9 in the 7th gate of the house of Bait. Your 8 and 1 in the house of Bait, okay? Also, which will be the spirit in the heavens, equaling to 9. And it's because of the 1 area surrounded by 8, or 2 areas with 7 that go in between. You can do it any way you want. You want to use these 2 or these 2 or these 2, but each and every one means 1, it can be any 1. 2 means 2, it can be any 2. Regardless, there's always going to be 7, so there's going to be those 7 combinations. So if we're coming into the 7 days a week, we're going to have 2 not there. If we want to measure this up against the constellations, if we want to measure this up against the 4 constellations, about the 88 parts of the constellation, or the 12 zodiac signs, there's going to be an equation to do this. And it will have a result at the end telling you that story. I just want to see if I can do this. So this is what happens on this over here. My first dot was here. I made a circle around it. My next dot is anywhere on here. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where it is. I put my next dot here. I make a circle around it. I reach out to the center, right? Maybe I don't know where the center is, and I have to find the center, right? So I can reach out to any point and find the center, right? Then once I do this, I make a circle around this, and I joined here and I joined here. Now my next circle is going to be from here and then one from here. So you can create from area space. So here's my 3 times 3, 3 plus 3. Will create my first 3 crossing lines. Every crossing line will connect to a 10 equal to 30. With 3 crossing lines, I have passed E and E 3 times. Noted that the first E can possibly be the void and empty space. Therefore, maybe we don't have to count the first E and just count the next E's that come upon it. Because to begin with, it's an area space. So we can count E, and then when the 2 lines pass, it becomes E with EE. E regardless, it equals to 15, okay? And the letter for 15 is O. Isn't that ironic? It's 15. We live inside the birth formation of what is 432. Inside of the bookends of 1 and 5 comes our 9 birth. From 1 and 5, 2, 3, 4, to what is 5 and 9, born on the farm, 6, 7, and 8. 6, 7, and 8 to the high side, 2, 3, and 4 to the low side. The movement of our vibration and the heavens is 2, 3, 4, right over here. The splitting of the sun, the numeric value to understand that Mars 5 and 1 is implicated in this. That the tiger 5 and 9, okay? The tiger is 5 and 9. The ox is number 39, but the dragon and the tiger. The dragon number 5 and the tiger number 3. Not only the dragon and the tiger, but we're now going to implement the rooster. Okay, and we're going to implement the goat. What it is I go forwards and backwards. So if I'm going to say number 5, I'm going to go to the 5th zodiac sign in the Western astrology, and I'm going to go to Leo. Or I'm going to go backwards 5 zodiac signs, and I'm going to go to Scorpio. So if I say to you 6, 8, 4, 5, like right now, somebody write down 3 numbers. Anything under Anything up to 12. Write down, no, anything. Just write down three single numbers right now. Just give me three single numbers. I'm going to show you how I connect this. Vesica Piscis creates the fish. Okay, so we started off with Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. So Scorpio is actually, you just gave me like three perfect numbers. But we're going to reverse the fourth sign of to Sagittarius, the 12th sign. We're going to reverse to, well, I'm going to have to go all the way back to Aries, okay, or the rat, and the 8th sign, which is Scorpio. I'm going to, that's 8, I can go 8 forward, right? Or what is the 8 backwards from the 12th sign? That'll bring me the 5th sign of Leo, right? Now, what's going to happen is Pisces is going to tell me about Aries. It's going to tell me about Taurus. It's going to tell me about Gemini. And it's also going to tell me about Leo. They all fit into each other. 1 times 2, 1 plus 2. Also, you're going to have some a joint that comes together between the solids and the stripes. When you play the game of pool, the 4 ball is purple. So the 4 and the 12, which is Pisces and Cancer, or what is the rabbit and the pig, right, is actually going to be a conjunction to each other to what might be Gemini. In this instance, 1 and 2 equals to 3. So if I can understand the association in the zodiac signs, how those who read astrology meet out, I can understand a little bit more depth in how these numbers coincide. Also to note that if I'm running with 12, what is my number to bring it? If I run with 12, but I need to run with a 7-day week, how can I make that perfect? How many times do I have to go around? 7, 14, 21. So that also is one conjunction. The minute I get to 777, in my 3rd week, I'm going to connect to Pisces because it reverses to 21. So it makes the same E-world connect. But if I'm going to a direct connect to that one, I'm going to go 7, 12, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63, 70. No, I only get there when I reach to 72. Hold on a second. When I reach 84. The only time I reach 12 is when I reach 84. And 84 only happens at the completion of the cycle moon, which means I need 12 weeks. I need 12 weeks at 7 days to equal 84 days will equal 3 times 28, okay, to the cycle moon, in which it's going to be 4 times 21 for the cube. When you're talking about the cube, I'm going to be 4 times 21 cube. So again, I was speaking about this cube at 156. I was also speaking about 78, because what happens is nothing creates until 3. Which means what you're left over here is the void of both these areas. 7 and 8 equals to 15. The 7th letter, G and H, come together like in the word laugh, or all the words with G and H, right? Or also to note, it can be P and H, because 7 is also here. 6 and 1, 7, 2 and 5, 7, 3 and 4, 7. Where the low part of 3 and 3 to the high part of 4 and 4, it's going to be dividing the sun between the day and the night when you're coming back to number 33. So another thing I wanted to speak about, somebody says, oh, don't talk numbers. God said, the Creator said, don't talk numbers. Wouldn't the Father of all creation want you to learn the most for the children? Go out and learn. Go out and learn. Hasn't your own father said, don't do this and don't do that, when your father wasn't right at all? Where your father and your mother make the wrong choices for you because of what others did, because of what they believed, without doing the work. They read a book that was read and reread and reread and reread and read. Now it's explained in this language and that language. You don't even know your own language because you don't understand the connection between the coordinate area space and what's going to connect this coordinate area space is what's going to connect the characters that you understand to be your letters in your alphabet. When you didn't even know what the letter M or N actually meant, M automatically tells me 3 areas. M has a V inside. M shows me to the left and to the right, and it has a perfect center. K shows me less than to one side using what is a V. Why are they using the V to say less than or more than? Why are they always putting the V at the end, what is also established by my work to understand to be as Mars? Why do they put a V that is Roman numerals to be understanding as the second Roman numeral, right? Why do they put it as the second Roman numeral and it's reflecting D? Why is 5V reflecting D500, right? So I would have to go times C, right, equals to 100, equals to 500. So now I have to implement C with my V to implement 500. When I implement the C, I now implement the X. So now I have a location and gateway, okay, which is going to be 10X, also noted to what is the 24th letter, where V is the 22nd letter. To also note, backing it up to number 23, where I said the 23 is what divides everything, okay, is where Grover Cleveland and this last presidency came in, to where 22 and 24 get divided by 23. The second level of 23 is 45 and 47, where 46 fits in. And then the next level of 23 is 69, and it plays a dividing role in 69 between 68 and 70. So now you've arrived at the 7th gate, understanding in your 3rd dimension in your rotation of the sun, when you surpassed your capacity, 3 times 3, 3 plus 3 equals to 6 and 9. After that, it starts a new realm into the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. They even separated this in the French language 3 different times. They have separated in the French language 3 different times, 7, 8, and 9. In the English language, they began separation at 13. In the English language, they began separation also between 3 and 4. Ask me the question how they did. I'm going to warm up a little bit of tea. Like, share the likes. And the only reason I say that, let this get out that we should not be just 2 people here, but 2 million people here. I don't want to think small because I know the story has been looked for by millions of people. What is this and what is that? And why can't we speak numbers? Why not? What is stopping you? Why are you saying okay today to something that's wrong, but you won't say okay to this, that's something that's wrong? And the something that's wrong is talking numbers. Will you get a ticket for talking numbers? Who's going to penalize you for talking numbers? Ask them why. And you don't want just a God said so. You tell me why we can't talk numbers. Tell me why. We can talk letters. Can we talk letters? And why are there certain words we shouldn't say? And when they say the words, they say, don't say the F word. Now, that's a single letter, the F word. It's the 6th letter in the alphabet. It's the 21st letter reverse. 21st letter reverse is the day you came to life. 27 in the house of Bait. Just let me get on here and see this. Let me see who's here. Hey, we're just the 2 of us. People pop in and pop out. I understand. It's not an easy subject. You know, and everybody that wants to pop on, you know, I was looking for invite, right? Co-host with a recommended creator to make new friends. I don't want them, like, if somebody's going to come here, I want them to come here on their own choice. So let me go back to the kitchen, get some more water. It says we're 2. I don't know how that's possible. Okay, just let me check this out. Yeah, I want to go back to this and just show you this. I connect, if I draw a straight line like this, look. Whoop. If I draw a straight line, I can't even do that. Can I draw a straight line? See, I draw a straight line. It's not letting me do it. Okay, so just give me 1 minute. So if we take a look at these numbers, how many areas do we really have? Well, we have a box here, we have a box here, we have a box here, and we have a box here. If we use these numbers as central for coordinate area space, right? Like if I use this box, let's call it Venus, 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 Venus. Let's call the entire thing here Earth, Venus, Mars. Why? Because here I'm using my center point is I'm going to make a circle around all 9 numbers. Or I'm going to create 4 squares and then create the circle all inside of 1 square and all connecting to the 2, 4, 8, 6, 2 line square. So where is the real true connection of this? Are there 9 spaces running on the dots? Or are there 4 spaces running in area space? If I run by the dots, I will work with sister and daughter, and I'll talk about Earth. If I'm talking about the squares and running 4 squares at a time, I'm going to talk about Mars. 4 times 4, 4 plus 4 equals to 16 and 8. 44 equals to 16 and 8 equals to 24. Note that 16 is 1 and 6 is 7. You now come to 7 and 8. You now come to the King's Pass into the heavens. G7 and H8. It will now tell you about headquarters. The reverse of this is 33 will equal to 6 and 9 will equal to 15. The reverse of the cube, and we've done it 100 times, is right here. This and this will say pi. 4 times 4, 3 times 3. 6 and 1 will create 7 and 9. Birth at the gateway. This will create 6 and 9. Sorry, excuse me, let me see. Sorry, this will create 6 and 8. Divided at the 7th gate of the 9 birth. Here is going to create the word OX, or the ox. That's what it creates. 6 and 6, the divided gates. So let me finish this design work over here. So we noted that in order to create our first image, right, we only needed 6. We only need 6. When we bring 8 into this, we lock it up. When I bring the 4th arm into this, the 4th arm ends up on the inside of the star. 1 arm, 2 arm, 3 arms. When I put the 4th one in, I lock up the star. I create the octagon within. Octagon H15, 1 and 5, 6 and 8, dividing by the 7th gate. Let me see if we can. So it sort of looks like two-sided. This one going towards this one. You notice one is bigger than the other. You know the B, where you create the B, one is bigger than the other, because how its functionality when it comes together. So what we're going to do next in this, we've all seen this before, right? But look at the angle it's on. Star of David on this angle. It also looks like this is what is a flesh. All flesh, all arrows are noted to be what is 5. Whoa. I'm a little upset of what I just did here. So I'm just going to show you the connection. So this is the beginning of what was number 33. 3 times 3, 3 plus 3 created 6 and 9. Created the percentage sign, showing me the division of the towers. Did you know that the towers in 2001, that if you went up to the roof, instead of it being 110, it'd be 111. That's the heart of 36 numbers. 11, 1, 1, 1 is 3. The twin towers now became 33. Keep an 11, they're now 2 and 2. 11, 1 and 1, 1 and 1, 2 and 2. If you multiply 1 times 1, 1 plus 1, you'll get back to 3. When you go up to the top floor, 110, right? 1 and 1 is 2. The other tower is 2. There are 11s when you take away the 0. When you go to building 7, right? The operating house of Venus, 2 and 7, right? Guess what? There's 47 floors. 4 and 7, another 11. The flesh is an arrow, it's number 5, going through the heart. So when we finish off this connection over here, we can see how this is looking. Now this is only one part of it. Now we connect within the house. Notice the way it sort of looks like 88. If you take a good look this way, what was the 2 towers, to have the 1 tower in between to connect to the 2 towers below. Now I usually don't make the design this way. Most of the times, I'm trying to see if I should keep a picture book, right? I'm just gonna do another one of these. I think I did it backwards. Yeah, just give me a second to. Yeah, I didn't use a very good piece of paper over here. So I just did this real quick. Okay. You can see this one over here. Whoop, let me finish off that. So you can see this one over here. 2 and 1 area coming from the top, the new tower over here, the 2 wings of the tower, and this one, which is actually going to be the same thing as this one. And this is where your 6 and 9 comes in, your 3 times 3, your percentage sign. Your number 5, the E world, slips up where the towers are. Just let me see something here. Okay. Yeah, I was 1221. How about that, eh? 1221. See the way Rubik's Cube is? See this design over here? This is Fibonacci. Let me get that. How do we get this? Let me take this music off for a second. Okay, so just give me a second. Let me turn this off. So on this one over here, okay, this is the way the cubes, they can look, right? And this is Fibonacci. What I did is I paired up numbers between odd and even. This is where we have the heavens, the 2 sides of the heavens, where one is walking and one comes in spirit. So we can see that one here. See this one over here, 1, 1. What was that? 1, 1, 2, 4. I can't see what's in there. There's a reason for all of these being what they are. And if you notice the tilted connection of these bow ties, well, it's the Star of David. What most people see as straight is not. It's the connection, right? You need to connect these triangles. Here's the center connection of the triangles between the left and the right. Now we connect the center to the right, and now we connect the center to the left, like above is below. And in between has that square over there. And in between the square, it connects to each one of these. Remember, we have to have an operator in between the heart. I'm just trying to see if I can get up to 3,000 hearts, so I'm going to do it myself. Ox, fox, box. I'm just liking myself. I want to see how many stars I can get. Oh, I threw myself a whole bunch of stars. Okay, got to 3,000. That was pretty cool. That's what I was looking for. So we can't forget number 78. In fact, you can't forget anything, right? Even when you're talking about the wolf and the lamb, it's the wolf I regard as 2 moons of Mars, or any 2 moons. And the lamb, I'm going to count for the air you breathe. I'm going to count it for man. I'm going to count it for 7 by 4 running in the cycle. The 4 is going to automatically create the connection, a wing connection, that star system connect, because of the number 10, right? 1, 9, 10, 3, 7, 10, 4, 6. And I'm getting a little tired here, so we're gonna end this. I wanted to show you something about the A letter. The A letter gets split in the center. It has 2 sides to it that it can plug into. I can live in the center over here. I can live to the left or to the right. Is there only one A letter? Should I use 2 letters? Since there's 4 suits in the deck, is one of the suits playing on top of the other 3 suits? I come into this world with the 3 moons, okay, or the 1 moon. I get put on to this paper. I come into this world, I automatically get a father and a mother and a heaven to live into. Boom, I'm already here. So can we count the father and the mother as a 1 and a 2 to my 9 birth? 9 birth, father and mother, 3, equaling to 12. Or I come as the 6th person in my own from the seed, and the 1 and 2 seed connects to those moons. Gives me the 612 connection, the 216, the 2160, or the 1440, which is 1.5 times 1440 to equal to what is 2160. That 2160 are the 6 sides of the 21 dots of this cube, or 6 by 21 is 126 again. And that again is going to bring you back to the connecting to the diameter of the moon, which is 1440 minutes to a day, because I was born, this is your birthday. If it is your birthday, okay, birthday, birth is 57, day is 30. It is my birthday. It is 1440 minutes to what is a day. That is broken up between 480 and 960, meaning the 960 or 3/3 Earth rotation, your 960 minutes for the 16 hours in a day, to what is the 480 minutes, what is the 8 hours, to what is supposed to be the night. And when you get the night, you get the silver armor. Okay? You get the silver armor because of the expression. Armor is love. You lie down in your bed, you go into 2 worlds. Because you go into 2 worlds, it's noted as 2. 2 is noted to be second. Second is noted to be ND, which is 18. The 1 spirit comes into the 8 heavens. When you lie in the bed, you get your heart between the 2 worlds, your life, and you reconnect up to 2. You reconnect up to what is basically, let's call it either Scorpio, or let's connect the ox to this. The Taurus or the ox to this. Once you get 2, you automatically talk silver. You automatically say you're in the sun system. The sun is going to be number 54, right? Which is going to be 9 times 6 equals to 54. I say the sun is 18. It's 3 by 18 equals to 54. The sun is also noted, just give me a second, is where you get what you get from the sun as 18 is 10 minus 8 equals to 2b. So that would be your house of bait at the 7th gate, right? You've come into the mirror world of the heavens. 10 also has a reflection to 7. Now, I don't remember. Oh, yes, it's A, B, and G coming together. I think that's your guichet automatique bancaire, right? That's when you plug up to all the numbers. I have to see what else, ABG. 7, that'll equal to a 10. I have to see the different ways. Then we go to the B, C, and E also equals to a 10. Anyways, besides that, what it is when you get to number 18, I sometimes get a little bit lost. So when you get to number 18, when you say it in French, you're going to say 10, 8. How do I know it's not 10 minus 8? So when you get to the sun, you're also talking about 2B, which is the house of Bait, and you know it's a split system. It's split into 2, and then it's split into 2 again. Okay? It's for the communications between the Earth moon and the 2 moons of Mars. I'm not really sure how everything works, okay, but this is what it says. But you do this, okay, in the TH world. You do this in time heaven. Because when you get to 10 or 8, you're all in 8. In fact, 8 is a little bit different, okay, which is really cool that I said that. Because when you get to 8, you're going to also have to use the word in all its denominations. And 8 can be eighth, right? But that's the only one, okay? First will be first, okay? Second will be second. Third will be third. Fourth will be fourth. Fifth will be like 4. 6 will be like 4. 7 will be like 4. Not 8. 8 is not like the other ones. Because when you write eighth, all you write is the H. You do not add on the TH. You do not have to add on the E world to connect. The heavens already exist without adding on the communication center. The 8 comes with its own communication center, and that's the moons of Mars. Or if we want, let's call it communicate through what is Neptune, through the water system vibration. Communicate. Venus makes up what is 4 times 2 equals to 8, where man makes up what is 3 times 2 equals to 6. So the 8 is going to equal to what is the doghouse. Okay, and the 6 is going to equal to what is the cat. The 2, 3 cat to the 4, 2, 8. When you have these cubes, right, or when you have your ABCD system, it is your ABCD, and where ABC 6 connects to BCD 9. ABC 6 connects to BCD 9. Dog equals to 26, 2 and 6, 8, octagon. It takes 4 times the cat, okay, in order to create it takes 4 cubes, each one with 6 sides, each face with 9. It takes 4 of them to create this design octagon over here. Rotakis alphabet uses double A and AE combination. What is a Rotakis alphabet? Let me look it up. Can anybody tell I got a haircut yesterday? Can you see? The one, like this one that was over here. See, I come on here every day and you can't even tell I got a haircut. That's crazy. That's crazy. People come here every single day to watch me with these lives, and they didn't even compliment on my haircut. Look, they got that one right there. Oh, and yeah, this one here, over here, right? So we should be pleased and honored that within the heavens came the air. Within the heavens came the air. Why? The H for the heavens, the area space, the air that occupies the area space in the house of Bait. H and A, 1 and 8, okay, come into fruition in formation of where A meets B. Now when A meets B, right, what you have in B is you create C. Your C dot to your 6 void will create 3 times 6, 18. 18th letter R. 3 plus 6 equals 9. I, A, and H must come in between your creation, 3 times 6, connecting the 3 systems. You lost your hair and the menopause came in because we're breaking away from the moon system. The moon system is no longer required in the occupancy that you have right now. At what age are you that you don't have that? Is this because you come to the retirement age of 65, where they change your mind inside the system? This is where 6 and 5 comes out. At your gateway, 5, 6, 7, 8. Who do we appreciate? See the 5 and 6, 11 to 1 and 2, 3? Your 3 and 11 bring the red into this game. So somehow we're breaking away from that 11. The 11 ball in the game of pool and the 3 ball are the same. 11, 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 equals 1 and 2, 11. We break away from the 7 and 8th gate inside of this. What communication do we no longer need? Do we no longer need the Mars connection? Is that what happens when you reach your 60s and you say, I've matured? So when you mature, does that mean you pick up the horns of the Bélier, right? Or have you picked up the Taurus, the bull? Or have you released the bull and you have matured and now you're living in between the heart of everything under Aries? How do you move over from one world to the next? Right? Where are the numbers? If the 1 is here in the center and the 2 is on each side, well, if the 2 is on each side, we're going to put the 2 on this side, the 8 on that side. We're going to put the 3 on this side, and we're going to put the I'd have to match up to the 12 zodiac signs. Okay, I'm getting a little tired here. All this moving around everything, right? When you're working, when you need to divide up odd numbers, when you need to divide odd numbers, we're going to put a cross in the center. When you need 4 rows of numbers, we need to connect 6. 6 numbers will connect the 12 this way. When it's horizontal and vertical, understand how it works. Do you follow me? These 3 here will separate these 3 and these 3. But these 3 here, east and west, will separate these 3. But when you're working with 12, these will never move. It'll always be 4, right? But this one will now be 8. This is the Pluto system, 8 and 4 coming together. Remember I said before how all these are the same? They're all 1/2 of each other. 4 is half of 8, 3 is half of 6. They all revert back to this reality over here. When we bring it into the E worlds, it becomes 1, 2, 4, 8. Doesn't that remind you of anything? When we split everything into the E world, what's happening over here will now be over here. This is Fibonacci, 1, 2, 4, 8. So what comes after here? 32. And then 64. The backgammon reverse dice is exactly that. It starts at 2. Backgammon reverse doubles up on every single one and then reduces. When you get to 64, which started at 2 all the way to 64, you will end up with 1. So it seems the low dice on a double up dice is 2, all right? And the high dice is 1. The 64 reverts to 1, and the 2 remains 2. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm a little bit tired, so we're going to end it now. And I have to go out stretching outside. I'm going outside and inside. I was privileged that I was invited to play with a racket. It's a flat racket with a flat surface. It doesn't have tennis markings in it. They call it ping pong, but the real name for it is pickleball. So now I'm going to have to start thinking about pickles and balls. And not to let anybody know, my brother-in-law doesn't know yet, but by mistake, I took somebody's phone home from the game last week and had no idea it was in my bag, and the bag kept ringing, and I'm going, oh my God, what's going on? And then I came home and I found one of the balls in my bag. I think somebody threw their phone, and they threw the ball in the bag. And when I got to the place, the dog grabbed the ball and started eating it. And I knew the dog would eat the ball, but I just didn't pay any attention to it because I was so busy. So for anybody that wants to be a ruler, According to the cube, you need 2 of these. The 12 inches, okay, on here are going to show you your 30 centimeters. Your 30 centimeters for Mars, right? The 30 creation. You need 2 of these for the 6 sides of this. I need 6 and 6. To create a yard, I need 6 of these to create a yard. So I need 6 times 26 for this in order to create my first yard. Let me do that equation. I need 6 times 26 equaling to 156 to make a yard. So I need 6 Rubik's Cubes. Now, since I have every single cube has 21 on it, I need to go 6 by 21, okay, equals to a total of, equals a total of 126. Now, I just talked about 6 cubes, okay? I just talked about 6 cubes over here. Now, let me do this again. 1 cube and 1 cube. I don't want to go to Rubik's Cubes yet because the numbers get way too big when I expand it to the true figure. So let's keep things on a low base. I need 6 of these, 2 per ruler, right? I didn't do the rulers this way yet. And the game, according to Monopoly, and this isn't even finished. I need this. I need 8 of these to make the Mars cube. Then I need 26 to make the 26 and 1 to make the Earth cube. Then what I need to do the same thing is we have to understand that either I have a 4 face, either I'm going to use 4 to a face, or I'm going to use 9 to a face. I can use 9 dots or 4 areas. Area 3476. 135, 234. Use number 3. 345, 246. Use 4. 567, 468. Use 6. 678, 579. 3476. Did you know that 3476 was the diameter of the diameter of the moon, or 2160 reverted to, or 1440 minutes in the day? Let me hold on a second. Yes. Orphan roulette. This is orphan roulette. 1776 to the right. Whoop. 1776 to the right. 12, 125 memory, 12549. 2549, 1 and 9 on each end, 254 in the center. Add up 1 through 23, 254. But regardless, 5775. They call that the racetrack. R, race, track. R, race, track. It's not a gambling. It's not a gambling thing. It's not a gambling. Don't think about that, right? The racetrack. The R letter. Those numbers, 5775, electric moon. Male and female. 5G. So where we got onto is now I have 6 cubes, okay, which have 21 dots, equals to 126 dots. I have 6 cubes times 33 voids, okay, equals to 192. 180 and 6 by 3 is 18. Sorry, 198. 6 by 3 is 189, so it becomes 198, right? Which becomes 99, and 99 is 198, and 63 and 63 is what is the cubes, the dots and the voids. I like to divide it in half. I like to understand the full dimension. I can divide this by 3 and divide this by 3, but I'm going to end up with 21 and 33. So now what we're going to do here is we have a total of 198 and 126 equals to 324, our vibration of 324432. So let's see if this works. 54 by 6 is 324. That's our vibration between 1 and 5. before we come into the world, or before we're in the world, we're living in the world? Is it between 1 and 5 and 5 and 9? That also can be discussed, because it's 1 through 5 through 9 on the left, 1 through 5 through 9 on the right. Then we come into the center, so I have to design these to see how they work out. So when we have this, we also have to note that we have a singular cube in each one of these other 6 cubes, right? In these 6 cubes, right, if I would revert it to Rubik's Cube, I'm going to have to multiply every single cube, okay, to have 6 sides. Meaning that Rubik's Cube, this is one cube with 6 sides. If I have 6 of these, 6 sides, and 6 sides, I make up 12. If every inch was only talking about a face, okay. But if it talks about each cube, each individual cube, okay, each individual cube has 26 cubes. Each individual cube must be multiplied by every cube has 6 sides, equaling to 156. Plus you have to add 6 on for 162. Remember 162. Why? Because it's 27 times 6. Area space occupied, 162. The moon again, 2, 1, and 6. Remember when 2, 1, and 6 come together, right? It's talking about, okay, I'm not going to say what it's talking about. I don't want to get into that part right now because I don't have a full story in my head. When we do that one cube, now we have the, I just want to see what else is missing inside of here. So yes, so now we have 26 times 21 equals to 546, the Federation. Okay, plus we need another 21. We have 567. 21 times 26 is 546, right? That's a sun system coming in here. 5 and 4, the sun. 6 and 4, the operator is Zion, Israel. The other thing about this is we're going to have the 33 void. So we need the 26 times 33 equals to, we have 858 void. 1313, House of Venus. Then we have the automatic 33 void that's in the center is going to give me 891, the heaven spirit, the high heaven spirit. Because, okay, I'm going to show you the totals in a second. So now when we go 54 by 26 equals, we have 1404. We end up with this number over here. 26 fois 33, 858. 1 fois 33, 33. 33 plus 858, 891. 91 spirit. 89, ça vient de 18. 1 times 8, 1 plus 8 is where the heavens split. You bring the birth into it, and the birth lives within the heavens. 26 fois 54, 26 cubes qui fait le tourage de Rubik's Cube. 26, 54 territoires, 9 times 9 fois la face. 9 faces, 9 on every face, 6 faces, 54. 54 fois 26 plus le milieu à 54. 54 dirige tout. 54 regulates the doghouse. The center cube adds on this. Within 1 and 8 is 4 and 6. Tu peux jouer avec tous ces numéros-là. 864, c'est l'entourage ou la distance de la soleil. 864,00, c'est les minutes dans une journée. 864 fois 3, ça donne 25 920, le temps de les Mayas. Puis tout va connecter. Everything will connect to the Mayan time. And any number you ever want to connect to, it's going to be there. Raphael 7286 and a constellation of Pegasus. Thank you for watching.